Meteorologist Robert Speta, and we're tracking some strong to near severe thunderstorms moving across the first coast here on our Wednesday afternoon. It's a weather impact alert day here at this studio and across the first coast because of the heat. And boy, it is hot out there. And that's one of the big things. Right now, the heat indices are still well over 100 degrees. So these showers that are moving on through are bringing some relief. In fact, look at Jacksonville. The heat index currently at 85 degrees at the airport. But this is after some of these storms just moved on through. And we just got a report. Let me see if I can pull it up here, of a 52 mile per hour wind gust at the airport. These are also some reports just came out from Fort Caroline area. I think Blount Island, 49 miles per hour there at Fort Caroline. And okay, there we go. And a separate wind report at 1:30, so about a half an hour ago, of 52 miles per hour. And then at the airport, we had a 52 mile per hour wind gust that just came through on top of that. So you know what? There is plenty going on out here across the first coast. And as we always say, anytime there is that threat of severe weather, we're currently tracking some stronger storms. We're going to be here right with you, tracking along. So hopefully you jump on here. Actually, let me just check and see if we're streaming on our social medias. I can answer some of your questions as well. All right, so we are streaming. I'm just going to pull that up real quick here. If you're jumping on right now, we're tracking some strong to even potentially severe thunderstorms. I see we got some people on there, so just one second. All right, I'm just putting something out on my social so we can get some people in here and we can track along. So there we go. Ooh, and just actually had some lightning detected right next to the studio too. So, oh my goodness, so much going on. And what's happening is we kind of have this trough. Look at that big blob of moisture just offshore. They're kind of tied into each other. And on top of that, we got all this heat. So this has resulted in some pretty decent instability, triggering up some thunderstorms here this afternoon. So I know we're streaming on all our social media platforms. Thank you very much for everybody jumping in, following along with us here. Taking a look right now, we got a couple special weather statements in place from the National Weather Service out of Jacksonville here, and a special marine warning, in fact, in place as well, just off of our east coast. Now, the point is, this overall line of storms is producing some fairly gusty winds, about 30 to 40 miles per hour, but also a lot of lightning mixed in here too. And in fact, I'm going to pause this and let's just take a little walk around. And starting from south to north, our friends out here in the Ponte Vedra area, you are really getting it right now. Look at that. A lot of lightning. And you know what we've had recently is a lot of negative lightning strikes. So if we just scroll over this, that's always worry. So when we have more negative strikes than we have positive strikes, and specifically this storm offshore or right around Ponte Vedra has a lot of negative strikes. Now those are the kind of those ones that they're a lot louder. Not even just because distance and everything, but they're a lot louder, and also their overall voltage is about 5 times stronger than a positive strike. So that's another thing here. If you have any questions or you're being impacted by these storms right now, let me know. Just like Josh Smith just said, it is pouring right now in the Mayport area, my old stomping grounds. My first move to Jacksonville was out here in Mayport. And in fact, if we go off towards the north, there you go. We got some of those heavier just south of you, but boy, it is coming down out there. Let's pull up our live camera out of Mayport. I know we got a live camera right there on the river, just to verify what Josh is saying here. Now, here's the problem with this too, and I'm just pulling up that camera right now. For these areas, including Jacksonville, overall, these storms are moving from northwest to southeast. So it's not going to be a one-and-done type of day. I think we're going to get a couple of rounds of storms for a few spots out there. That's a live shot out there along the river there in Mayport. Obviously, it is coming down via our weather stem camera there. But let's pull back that picture, and actually we'll zoom in a little bit here, have it on a loop, because one thing that you really can see quite clearly here, oops, I skipped it ahead too far. You can see quite clearly here is this motion from the northwest towards the south and east. So kind of see it just like that. And that's problematic because we could get some training in a few spots, especially if we get one storm after another, which means, and we're seeing kind of a local flood risk today from the Storm Prediction Center because of some of these heavier storms, not just because they are happening one at a time, but because you're going to get one kind of after another. And even in the cell that is pushing just around Fernandina, stretching back towards the airport there, you kind of see this whole line moving from the northwest towards the east-southeast. And actually, I'm going to put a pause on this and kind of give you a good idea of where it is headed. Just like that. Get the leading edge of it, and it's going kind of like this. So that specific line there, putting out a lot of lightning, is going to be into the Mayport area. I think that's moving way too slow. Let me, that's why. Okay, hold on. I got to double check this. So what we do literally with this sometimes, and you're going to see on air how we calculate the forward motion of this. So what I'm going to do, okay, that storm is right around Folkestone there, and then it gets out to about there, Fernandina, so 30 miles, because watch this. All right. Okay, so it's moving at about 30 miles per hour. So you're watching me do this live here, friends, and which is fun. Honestly, you can kind of see how the cake is made here. Is that the expression? No, that's not the expression, but whatever. So that's a little bit better. So that specific line within the hour is going to be closer to Mayport, about next 5 minutes passing over the airport. And, then even places like Baptist Medical Beaches, 3:17 p.m., so right around just Jack's Beach, and Ponte Vedra around 3:20. So Ponte Vedra getting a storm right now, but this next one could be kind of out in your area in the next hour or so there. So let's take a closer look actually at this cell, because this is also putting out just a ton of lightning here with it as it moves towards the east-southeast. That's going to be one of the big issues with it. Look at that. This is another one, 164 negative strikes, about 500 strikes in the last 10 minutes. A lot of lightning specifically, and we can even dial this down a little bit more. So just right outside of Yulee, if you're watching out of Yulee, give me a shout on Facebook. That's why I have it right here, my phone. Just give me a shout where you're watching from. We got about 90 people watching right now. Really would appreciate it. But let's see. So we'd narrow this down just on outside of Yulee, just west of there. But this whole storm is kind of slowly shifting towards the east. So Yulee, I know it's raining for you. It's going to be kind of actually east-southeast, so passing just towards your south. But my goodness, a lot of lightning coming out of that right now. And just specifically on that storm, 160 strikes. Oh my goodness. Not a cloud in sight at NAS, Dominique says. Yeah, I highly doubt that. That is a blatant lie. Okay, you got clouds all around you there. I bet you I can pull up our tower cam and just show you clouds around NAS. But I do believe that it may not be raining there. It's not. In fact, let's pull up that right here. Okay, I'm gonna swing our camera around and look right at NAS Jacksonville. We got some presets here. Let me see. All right, this one is currently looking out towards Jack's Beach. Pull back that picture. Currently raining on our camera at Southside, so there's that. Swinging it around. Now this is looking towards the south into the, that is looking out towards the NES Jacks area. Yeah, it is definitely storming out in your area. My goodness. Really coming down out there right now, actually. That's just kind of a live look. Beth says Argyle, cloudy with sun, no rain yet. But, yeah, keep the updates coming. Thank you very much. Actually, did I? Oh, you know why? I thought I was throwing the camera out there. I haven't changed. I'm looking at this like, why is it not showing up on the screen? Because I forgot to hit change the camera. That was still Mayport. This is a live look from our camera looking south out toward. My goodness, I apologize for that, friends. This is what happens when you're kind of a one-man show trying to run some of these things right here. But that is looking towards the south, out towards some of those storms out south of Jacksonville. So yeah, pretty. Let me swing this camera back around. Now we're going to look back towards the north. That is off towards the north right here, kind of closer to downtown, and then swing it around past the pole there. That is towards the south. So for the person that was saying not a cloud in sight in any of those jacks, you must be looking directly at the ground, because that is a big cloud directly over the south side Mandarin area, closer to the Buckman Bridge. And OG just said not raining at doctors. Yeah, I can see that, but you do have some of those storm clouds just kind of towards your east. Bonnie says kabooms in JB, electric going on and off. Oh, that's interesting to hear. I know we got some pretty decent storms out in that area. Raining at Fernandina Beach, June says right there as well. So, like I said, we're looking at the live shot here. Thank you very much. We got about 100 people on here watching right now. So let's give you a nice little tour what's going on. So, of course, we have this trough pushing overhead. We actually just got a new severe thunderstorm warning just issued. Not over Jacksonville, mind you. But you can see some of these cells kind of passing over. So Ponte Vedra, obviously, it is coming down right now, but that is moving just offshore, a little bit further towards the north. Amelia Island's getting it right now, and you're probably going to get that next round. And the cell right behind it, stretching from Callahan to Yulee, is passing from the northwest towards the southeast. I think that's going to bring some fairly gusty conditions to the airport too. Likely going to see some delays, not only because of the wind, but my goodness, that is a lot of lightning in this specific cell right here. Just enlighten me here, or just deal with me here for a second. That's not what I want to do. I want to do, okay, anyways, that cell over Fernandina up to 30,000 feet. That is a strong cell. Now we're going to, I actually wanted to kind of look at the cell and stretch it right along the highway here from Callahan to Yulee, and kind of give you this cross section across Nassau County. All right, hold on a second. There we go. There's our cross section across Nassau County. So this storm is putting out a lot of lightning, and it's no wonder. I mean, it got tops that right in the middle of this, up to about 25,000 feet. Yeah, just given our atmosphere out here today, that is really going to trigger out a lot. Somebody did say, Jessica, tornado watches with it. No. Today, the severe weather threat is more to do with the heavy rain, a lot of lightning, and some local gusty conditions. We just don't have rotation in the atmosphere. Now, right before I came into the studio here, somebody did ask me out in the newsroom, could we go to a tornado warning? And I said, the answer to that question is always yes. There's always the possibility when we have thunderstorms, but we just don't have the dynamics out there today for a lot of rotation. With that said, a lot of lightning. I mean, I'm really watching the storm just north of the airport that is putting out just a ton of lightning right now. In fact, I really want to nail this. Like, let's go take a look. I know we have a camera out at Callahan. I'm going to try to pull that up real quick here. Let's look off towards the north. Here's our weather stump camera out of Callahan. I'll make sure I put it on the screen this time. But hold on. There we go. And while that's loading, let's read. No rain in San Jose from Wendy. Yeah, it looks like the heavier stuff is just towards your north. This is Callahan. Megan says it's nasty up here at Wildlight and Yulee. Lots of lightning. That absolutely confirms up what we're looking at here. Excuse me for a second. It says Starbucks. It is not a Starbucks. I ain't that fancy, but it's a nice cup. White House is looking dark and the wind is picking up there. Yeah, just north of White House. I mean, it's really going to start to come in there. So this is Callahan. Let's go back to our radar here, and I'll address some of these. So Yulee, lots of lightning. That absolutely does not surprise me. Just this is I'm not trying to hype it or anything. That's an incredible amount of lightning from Callahan out towards Yulee and the Fernandina, and an incredible amount of positive strikes in there too. 312. Those are the big boomers. Those are the ones that can go far away from the cloud source, but also they have higher voltage. When you hear of deaths from lightning, negative strikes can kill you too, but positive strikes, I just talked to a lightning expert at University of Florida a few weeks ago, and they were talking about how the positive strikes actually, you don't get the one shot of volt, it actually goes through a few times. So whenever I see this and I see 3 times as many positive strikes and negative strikes, it really does raise an eyebrow, and it makes me think, oh, okay, hold on a second. That's rough. Let's see. We just got a new update from the National Weather Service here. Just pulling that up real quick. Special weather statement has been issued for there we go, these storms impacting Baker, Columbia, Hamilton, Eccles, and Atkinson. That is a little bit towards the south. Meanwhile, okay, we also have the special weather statement for the strong storms that are impacting Duval, Glen, Nassau County, and that one is for 45 to 55 mile per hour winds. So that is this specific cell you're looking at right now. It is not severe, but it is close. But one thing I do note in here is that they say wind gusts 45 to 55, and as somebody just mentioned here out of Yulee, that you're getting a lot of lightning. They even literally say that in the warning. They say excessive cloud to ground lightning is likely in this. So, yeah, this one, as you can see here on your screen, is putting out a lot of lightning with it right now. Yeah, so got a couple other people jumping on here. Genevieve, thank you guys you guys talk with each other in the comment section on here too. Go for it. I'd like to hear some of your reports and let me know where you're watching from as we continue to track. If you're jumping on right now, we got almost about 100 people watching on our socials, and thank you for trusting us and coming on here. I know it sounds like I'm rambling, but a lot of times I like to just kind of be here with you guys, and we track these storms as they move across our area. I mean, this one putting out a lot of lightning, so it really is one of those ones where you kind of want to know where it's going. So let's do a little tour. We got the cell moving just offshore around Ponte Vedra. You're going to get a break as that moves away. Special marine warning, though, in place. Further towards the northwest, a little bit of a break over downtown, and just somebody commented out of here of NAS Jax in San Jose area. It's not raining, but it's not cloud-free either. Somebody said not a cloud in sight. Give me a break. But there is some showers, and you can even see some showers out here just west of Riverside. That is moving towards the east-southeast. That's going to be moving over there. And eventually, that could actually, this specific cell right there, let's loop it. Probably, yeah, you see the motion of that. This specific cell right here very much could at least clip the northern portions of NAS Jax, but also moving into San Jose area too by about 235. You kind of see that small cell, but they're all building off of each other, so it's not like it's one or done. But the big bad boy is off here towards the north, from Ratliff back towards St. George. Downtown is going to be impacted by this one, and even over towards the airport, Yulee, Callahan, back towards Amelia Island, putting out a lot of lightning with that. That's the one where I was just reading off the special weather statement, 45 to 55 miles per hour winds, and excessive lightning, according to the National Weather Service with it. And just kind of seeing the leading edge of this, just giving you a rough idea. Mayport, yeah, about 45 minutes is going to be in your area, but West Jacksonville about 2:45, and of course at the airport, it's coming on you right about now at the airport. With that said, I mean, these storms are all over the place, so if you're in Jacksonville and you hear the thunder, head inside. Just especially with the excessive amount of positive strikes coming out of this. I mean, if you're watching this right now, you're probably smart enough to understand that lightning roar set indoors, right? You're watching a weather show on FCN Plus where we're just kind of talking about it. But yeah, this one just has a lot of positive strikes in here. So thank you guys so much for your support, by the way. Truly, all the people on here commenting on our socials right now and everything, it makes me feel like I'm not just sitting here talking to myself. Anyways, I do want to kind of take a closer look at, let's bounce back towards the north. Okay. I'm gonna go over to I-95. Ooh, I-95 right around Yulee. So this is right at the entrance of Yulee. Bonnie said how many strikes. In this specific one, when I just looked at it a few moments ago, and you know what, I'll pull it up right now since we got it on the screen. And you know, good question here. How many strikes are out there? In the last 15 minutes, 526. That's what we mean by excessive, right? Now that's stretching from all of Nassau County pretty much. But, wow. And look at the amount of positive strikes. 330. That is just a lot. And anything for Kingsland area, you know, here's the deal. For Kingsland, it looks like you're kind of missing out on this big one. It's pushing just towards yourself. But I wouldn't watch this one back towards the west. I think that's going to track just south of you too. Kingsland and St. Mary's might just miss some of these. They're just kind of nudging just past you there. But it's a good question. But it looks like it's just passing towards yourself. And the big one is right in here. Actually, I got the camera out of I-95, so just outside of Yulee. Severe thunderstorm warning just issued for Duval County. 60-mile-per-hour winds. Hail up to 3/4 of an inch for that whole cell. So that whole cell that we're watching right now just got issued a severe thunderstorm warning. So for those who may have the TV on, you're going to start to see the crawl on the bottom of the screen, that little annoying beep, 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 for that. That is a severe thunderstorm just issued from the National Weather Service. 40-mile-per-hour winds also just reported at the airport from this specific cell. So the guys writing the warning are situated at the airport, and they probably got those gusty winds right outside. They're like, all right, time to issue a severe storm on this. Excuse me, I just got to clear my throat sometimes. So Charlton, Duval, Nassau County, and St. Johns County all under this until 3:15 p.m., so another 45 minutes. We are now under a severe thunderstorm warning for, and I'm going to just read off since we got the time here. We're talking to each other, having make sure everybody's staying safe. Till 3:15 p.m., 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, also excessive lightning in this. This whole line is putting out a ton of lightning with it. Locations be impacted, of course. Jacksonville, downtown Jacksonville is going to run right over us, and even here at the studio. I'm here with you guys. Fernandina Beach as well, although I think the worst of it's passing just towards yourself, so closer to Amelia Island, the Mayport area. Arlington, Ponte Vedra also encompassing in on this as well, a little bit further towards the south. So you kind of see right over downtown, just around the northern portions of NES Jack. So when I was saying, you know, NES Jack's, the northern part of it could see these storms, you kind of see where that line is right there. And then over towards Mandarin, and eventually this is going to move offshore, probably just south of Ponte Vedra in about 45 minutes here. No, and I got this question a few times. There is no threat with this of tornadoes, but there is a very high hail threat and wind gusts of 60 miles per hour. And I just want to stress that because I hear people often say, okay, well, it's not tornado, so meh. And the reality is 60-mile-per-hour winds, okay, it's not a F5 tornado, but it's still going to toss things around, and you don't want to be driving in that. I mean, near zero visibility, likely at the on I-95 here. And in fact, let me just try to pull up that camera. Let's go to some of these spots that are currently getting these downpours. And I think we got a good shot. Let's see. I-95. Okay, oh, this is a great one. So this is just inside, in the middle of this leading edge of this storm right here. And pull that up real fast. So near zero visibility, though, on I-95 right now. So you just don't want to be driving. And obviously, there's going to be some delays out there at the airport. This is right near the airport, too. So not pleasant. And while I'm doing this, actually, I wish... You know what happened? I'm gonna tell you guys a secret. Our tower camera downtown was hit by lightning, and we don't have access to it anymore. So I have to use the one over on South Side, which is not as good. I really missed that one. So I'm gonna pull that up real quick here, and we're gonna try to take a look towards the north. I bet you this camera is gonna look really wild off towards the north once I swing this around. So. Here, it's pulling up right now. Okay, so right now we're looking towards the north. All right, now we're looking at that storm over Ponte Vedra. That is the one moving towards the south and starting to move offshore. Pretty heavy rain with that. Continuing to swing around from our camera on the south side, and that right there, if we go, that's the severe thunderstorm. Right there. Now, unfortunately, I can't really look over towards downtown because the tower itself is in the way. But this is looking out towards the airport. I believe right in the middle there is Blount Island. No. That's actually closer to downtown right there. But you kind of see this whole storm edging towards Nassau County, or edging across Nassau County towards Duval County. And this right here is what we call the shelf cloud, the leading edge of it. And it's that leading edge that's going to produce some of those gustier conditions. We just got a new update from the National Weather Service. Also in Baker County, Brantley County, Camden County, Charlton, Clinch, Nassau, a separate severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. So let's go back to our map here. Goodness gracious. I'm happy. Made the call to come on and do this stream. I was thinking, okay, it's not severe yet, but this stuff looks like it's going to go severe. It's putting out a lot of lightning, and here you go. That is the biggest polygons I have seen in some time. So what we have going on here is two separate kind of lines of storms. We have the first one. Let's take off the watches and warnings because we've got the severe thunderstorm over Duval County. That is this line right here. Let's pause it. Pause. Stop. All right. So we have the first line. This is a severe thunderstorm warning moving over Jacksonville right now. That is approaching the city. That's the one I was just showing you on our tower camera. Moving towards the south and east. Let me get how fast are these moving? I apologize, friends. Let me just give you 1 second here. Moving southeast at about 20, 30 miles per hour. Okay, so our timing is still about right. Let's take a look at this. No, I don't like that. You're hearing me just kind of talk through this. All right, so you know what? That's not going to work. Let me zoom it out here just a little bit. All right, here we go. All right, so this is the first line moving towards the south and east. That first line is going to be entering Jax Beach about 3:12, South Ponte Vedra about 3:40. Remember, this severe thunderstorm warning does go until 3:15. Okay, I'm just trying to pull up our chat one more time. All right, here we go. So let me know if you guys have any comments or anything like that. You following along, I would love to hear from you, just some of these comments. I know we already got a lot on here, like Casper jumping on a well. Yeah, we're getting stomped over here. That is one way to put it. Thank you for staying inside for sure. Yeah, Chandler says, stay safe out there. We got a lot of friends out here. Somebody says, is this Louisiana? No, this is Jacksonville, Florida, friend. But thank you for watching from Louisiana if you are. Don't know how you ended up here, but we appreciate you. So we're taking a look at this initial line. That is a severe thunderstorm warning in place. Then we go back towards the north and west. A new severe thunderstorm warning has just been issued out here closer to Charlton County, Camden County, eventually moving into Baker and Nassau County as well. Let's put our watches and warnings back on the screen. You kind of see where that is headed. So Baker, Charlton, Nassau, and Ware County with that one. That one also looking at 60-mile-per-hour winds with it, and it is putting out a lot of lightning. Scrolling over it, that specific cell, woo, 546 strikes on that right now. That is just stretching from Fargo back to Folkestone. Our friends in Folkestone and Hilliard, that's coming right at you. So now is the time to kind of, I'm not saying go to the interior of your house or anything like that. I'm not going to be inside, though, please. Try not to be outside if you're in any of these spots. Somebody's Renee asking if this is going to hit the White House area. Well, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning. Actually, are you? You're kind of right on the edge out there in White House. But, I mean, close enough where you're probably going to get some outflow, but you're probably not going to see the worst of it. The worst of it looks like it's going to pass right over downtown, the north side of town, already impacting the airport, then head out towards the beaches, Mayport, Amelia Island, Arlington, East Arlington, Fort Caroline, all of those areas kind of getting impacted. But the secondary cell, this other severe thunderstorm warning eventually could make it to your area here. But that one, just a lot of lightning. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I've just been showing you this one. Let's take a look at the hail core out here. And, yeah, look at that. So this is kind of showing you the core of this. Now, it is heading over the Okefenokee, so this is way out there, like not many homes in that area, to be quite honest. And if you are watching from this spot in the middle of the Okefenokee, thanks for watching. But that's about walnut-size hail. You kind of see that at the top left. Just did a little quarry on it. Then our cell moving closer to Jacksonville, also just outside of Ratliff. This is the one that's kind of nearing closer to city, also putting out some hail here. Just approaching 295. That's about pea-size hail. But mind you, the severe thunderstorm warning is about 3/4 of an inch, so that's like golf ball size hail that could be inside of this, maybe not getting picked up. But yeah, and then you can see so that other cell that we were watching that I said was approaching, NAS Jack. Somebody said not raining or anything there. Well, guess what? You got that pea-size hail now approaching your area and just outside of Riverside, the Avondale area. That is going to be, let's throw up a radar on top of it. You can kind of see exactly where that is right there. And in fact, I'm going to try to pull up the storm core. I think this might give us a better idea. No, I don't want it to loop. A better idea of where the core is. Now, you notice I'm not using velocity a lot here today because I just don't see any rotation in any of these. But just because I see a lot of people asking, is this tornadic? Nah, there's so much going on. If we see any tornadoes, what I think would happen, and this is hypothetical, is you would get two outgoing downdrafts slamming into each other. So because we got such an active pattern out here right now. Let's go back to the radar real quick. And so we have such an active pattern. We have so many storms all over the place that if two storms collapse and then their outflows hit each other, and then that we could see like a gustnado is what you kind of call it with that. But that would be very I think the lightning and the wind and the heavy rain is the big issue with this one as it moves overhead. But my goodness, just look at all this lightning with this. So this one's now just approaching downtown Jacksonville. And in fact, with that said, I'm going to try to pull up our downtown camera. Now, our tower cam busted, but because of lightning. Thank you, lightning. But we still have our camera on top of the building. So let me see if I can pull that up. Just give you an idea of what it looks like from downtown here. Oh, we do have our tower cam. Can you swing it towards the north and west? Oh, so you can't. Oh my gosh. All right. So my computer just died on me. That's great. I've been going at this for a while. Or, nope. Somebody's rebooting our weather computers. All right. I'm going to try to bounce over to, can you take, put up a camera, something, a tower camera. This is embarrassing. Somebody in the other room just rebooted our weather computers. Throw something else up here. I'm going to jump over to traffic and take that. So that will be max 3. The good thing is that we have backup cameras. these polygons are so big. Like, my goodness. So the outflow from that top storm is pushing down towards Oakleaf, running right over NAS Jax now, and that is the cell that we're looking at pushing out towards the south, going to be heading out towards World Golf Village, moving over NAS Jax, the Putnam Bridge, and eventually into the St. Augustine area. So all of that is working its way towards the south and east. Winds right now, 60 miles per hour with this severe thunderstorm warned setup here. We're also looking at the potential of hail within it, but I think one of the biggest issues that I'm seeing right now is the threat of lightning. Specifically with the cell now moving over just west of downtown and heading out towards NAS Jax on the west side of town here. Riverside moving into Oakleaf in the next few minutes. That's putting out a lot of lightning. Separately, got outflow that's just kicked up a new storm just outside of Ponte Vedra. That is moving out to the Nocte area or just north of you, also putting out a lot of lightning. The thing is, this is a very complex setup. It's not one specific line. We got these just multiple cells on top of each other. But I want to zoom in on this one because this is the one moving towards southeast, kind of a more potent one, just about to enter the NAS Jax area and out towards the Buckman Bridge. Let me actually, I'm going to try to pull up a camera out of the Buckman here. Let's see if it's already raining out there. Oh, man, I really wish. You know what else I can do? I can pull up this one. Okay, so I'm just trying to pull up some cameras here to give you guys a good view of what we got going on. So I'm going to pull up our one from the south side here, swing that around. That's still looking at the downtown one right there. And all right, so here we go. So as we look over towards the south side here, so this I'm going to swing this around and try to point it at NAS Jax. So we're just doing a little circle here with us. Thanks for dealing with that. And now here we go. All right. Oh, yeah, you can actually see the lightning on the screen there. See the little flashes? So that's a good shot right there. And that is putting out a lot of lightning too. That's why the screen is, look at that. Oof. That is the outflow from this severe thunderstorm, producing 60-mile-per-hour winds, a lot of rainfall with it, and you can see the outflow, just that wind kind of getting pushed out with that's why it almost looks like it's kind of slanted a little bit. That's that gust front we're always talking about. But this is a great image right here. Not a great image, but a great visual, I should say, with this one. And the leading edge of this, though, as I said, 60-mile-per-hour winds. But let's just watch this for a second, because I bet we're going to get some pretty good lightning bolts coming out of it as well. And if you got a good shot of these storm clouds from downtown, Tate is our director behind the scenes here, just let me know if you got the tower cam pointed anywhere specific that looks kind of like this. Try to find these. I'm trying to tell non-meteorological people where to point the camera. So yeah, if you can move that around. But yeah, if you're watching though in any of these spots, let me know. I would like to hear from you guys. But if you are watching or you're coming over from the TV side of things, and you're probably thinking, what just happened to my screen? Why is the bottom of the screen continuing to tick, and what's going on here? You're probably hearing that beep, beep, beep of the scroll at the bottom of the screen. That is because we not only have one, but we have 2, 3, 4 severe thunderstorm warnings in our area here on the First Coast. Starting from south to north, we have this one now moving offshore. We have that cell moving over Ponte Vedra, and then we have the separate one that is going to be moving down here towards St. Augustine, even all the way out towards Crescent Beach. That is coming off of this cell moving over towards downtown. This has been reshaped a little bit. This one cell just now has been edited from downtown south, so it looks like we had this outflow in this gust front break down a little bit, so the Arlington area may not get it quite as hard. Actually, I like this better. That way it's not overlaid, it's underlaid. So, I mean, still got some storms moving into the Arlington area, but it looks like the heavier stuff's kind of edging out towards NAS Jacks, the Buckman Bridge area. Mandarin's probably going to get into this Oakleaf area. Renee on here as saying that lightning is very intense into White House. That is after this outflow kind of pushed these storms more due south. Out here towards the Oakleaf area. And you can even see the outflow that it's been forming up some of these cells. It is right here. So you see this? This is helping to kick off more storms south, and that's one more reason why the severe thunderstorm warning extends all the way down towards like Middleburg. Even though the storms are moving southeast, they're kind of back building out in this direction, it kind of looks like here. And let's put it on a loop, and you can see what I'm talking about right there as they're kind of building out towards the south here. And with that said, just a lot of lightning from this one moving over towards downtown right now. And once again, I can even bounce back towards our tower camera. This is looking towards the south and west, towards the Pacific South that's moving over towards NAS Jacks right now. And also can hear a lot of lightning out there. Just giving you an idea how fast this is moving too. Look at the top of your screen. You kind of see the clouds just scooting along right there. Ooh, nasty stuff. So, Renee, thank you very much for chiming in on there. I really appreciate your report. Very intense lightning, as you just mentioned there, and that's one of the big things with this cell here. Let's actually go over to our storm core, and you kind of see an idea. What I'm going to do is pop that up on the screen here. So that's our storm core. That is kind of these higher cloud tops is very intense. Right there, severe thunderstorm warning obviously in place. I was trying to get a kind of a cloud top on this. Let me actually see if I can do that. Getting a little bit into the weeds here, but it won't let me on this one. But this specific cell, like I said, is approaching. Basically, it's right along 17 Avondale. Just north of the base, so up here towards Roosevelt, and that's going to be crossing the river and heading out here towards not quite San Marco, but just south of San Marco is probably going to be the heaviest with this specific cell. I think this is one of the more intense ones right now. Actually, if we just pull up, I'm going to put lightning back on the screen here. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there with our severe thunderstorm warning, obviously. But that's the one I was just mentioning. Putting out, like, it's crossing the river, heading out here towards US 1, I-95. It's going to be nearing. So this is just south of downtown. Lots of lightning strikes with it. Just absolutely filling the entire screen here. And now we're pulling back the picture. You can see that specific cell passing just south of downtown. So if you are here in Arlington or maybe the Fort Caroline area, you can breathe a little easier. You're probably missing most of this passing just south of you, but you still have some showers. So it's not like it's going to completely and utterly miss you there. Actually, let's do a little camera walk here. Just so we can get a visual in real time of what's going on. This is on our south side camera going back there. Beth says, Argo and Schindler trying to upload pic, won't let me, but it's thundering, getting super windy. If you're trying to upload a photo to the app, I apologize sometimes. But if you are a member of the First Coast News Weather Watchers Facebook page, please upload some photos there. That's probably your best spot to, I see a lightning flashing on the screen there. It's probably your best spot to upload some images. And if you're not a member, because it is a private group, we just try to keep the spam out and everything. If you go in there right now, I will try my best, if not during the stream, but immediately after, to accept you into there. So if you're not a member of that specific Facebook group, I know not everybody does Facebook, but it is really one of the easiest ways for us just to get this. Look at that. So this is looking closer to downtown. Oh, look at the sun just trying to peek through. That is almost a postcard. Not a postcard, but like a painting. Doesn't look like like a Monet. Not Monet. Yeah. Who does the swirls and stuff like that? Anyways, pretty wild. And there you go, a lightning strike right in there too. That is one of these severe thunderstorms that we are continuing to monitor here. Been talking for the last hours straight here with you. Now, yeah, see, every time we get those little flashes on the screen, that's another stroke of lightning. And the leading edge of that, that's our gust front. And then you can see right in there, I'm going to try to zoom in on this a little bit. Just bear with me. Because this is going right over the river. And what we're going to do is we're probably going to see a lot of scud starting to get picked up in there. Plus, you got the sun right behind that, backlit, and just constant lightning strikes coming out of this right now. And now, what we're looking at right now, this is over closer to NAS Jax, stretching back towards Avondale, just around the river, but probably already crossing the river here out towards US 1. And, oh, yeah, you see that right in the middle of the screen right there? Whew. There we go. Whoa. I was pointing that right at the right spot. But that's what we're talking about. There's another strike right there. This is just putting out lots of lightning, and this is in the same zoomed-in spot over, and this storm is continuing to intensify. Just got a new update from the National Weather Service. Orange Park getting just constant lightning over there, and it looks like that storm is intensifying right over the Orange Park area too. So it's not so much the wind, although wind is definitely a factor with this. It's enough to kind of cause some lawn furniture to get tossed about and things like that. But it really is the lightning with this specific cell. It is just putting out all sorts of strokes here. You can see visually here with our tower cam. With that, just edging this a little bit further towards the north, so we're just looking, okay, I can't go any further north than that. Man, I really wish we could fix our, oh, there's another lightning bolt just caught on this camera, looking off in that direction. I could sit here and just look at this for a while, but we need to kind of get back to the radar here and just show you what's going on with this. So basically, a severe thunderstorm warning is in place here across Jacksonville, Duval County, the First Coast. That is all thanks to this overall trough that is dipping in from the north. And what we're getting is just all sorts of strong to severe thunderstorms flaring up along that line. The good news, it is cooling things off a bit. We did peak well over 100 degrees with the heat index today, but that also has added up more fuel to the fire here, figuratively. But right now, one of the bigger storms is moving into the Orange Park area. Mandarin's going to be seeing this here in just the next few minutes. A lot of lightning coming out of this one. And you see it's moving kind of towards the south and east. So it's crossing the river right now, right over the Bucknam Bridge. In fact, you know what? I've been looking at this really fantastic shot from the our tower camera, but I also want to try to pull up the Bucknam Bridge shot right here, and I hope it's working because this storm is just kind of edging right out into that direction as let's see if it does load up. I do hope, because it did look like it wasn't loading. Yeah, it's froze. Ah, man. All right, I apologize for that. It just didn't look right when I was pulling it up there just now. I'm like, I wonder if this is not going to work. Let's see. I think all the cameras around the Bucknam Bridge, I hope the electric didn't go out there. They all look like they're frozen right now. That's interesting. All right, so with that said, I'll go back to the other camera. At least try to pull that up. There we go. All right, and put that up on your screen here. But once again, that is a severe thunderstorm warning. Let's see if there's any hail mixed in there too, because that's another thing that we're kind of watching with this. Big shout out to everybody who's commenting on here, following along on FCN Plus. If you're watching maybe on Samsung, you can just go to FCN Plus there, and on any TV if you're watching there, thank you very much. Or if you're watching on our social medias, YouTube, Facebook. Right now I'm following comments specifically on Facebook, so thank you very much for everybody who's chiming in on there. I do apologize. Sometimes I feel scattered. It's just because I'm running this kind of solo here right now, so just doing my best to keep you guys posted. Zooming in, though, all right, so there's the core of this storm now approaching NAS Jax. Let's just check, see how big this hail, marble-sized hail. So it's still a little hail in there. Now, yeah, you can see it kind of crossing over Avondale. That's going to be near the airport. T1 in place. T1 inside of 5, for sure. My Navy pals know exactly what I'm talking about there. But even the other side of the river, we're looking at some hail right along San Jose. Somebody was commenting earlier saying there was no storms in San Jose. Well, that's why we call it a forecast. Passing over you right now. All right, so it looks like Pete, a marble-sized hail with that, based on radar. No rotation. We don't have any tornadoes or anything out here, but these storms are potent enough. Let's bounce back over to storm core. You kind of see where the larger cells are indicated right in here. So right now, moving towards the south and east. Looks like Arlington, Fort Caroline, even Jack's Beach kind of missing out on some of these heavier storms here. But that's because it's all kind of due to outflow pushed a little bit further towards the south. So Orange Park is going to be entering in your area, Mandarin. Fleming Island, give it a few minutes, also going to be crossing over towards you. And then eventually running up towards 95 into St. John's. All right, let me see something. Just got a new... looks like severe thunderstorm warning for northwestern Nassau is being canceled. So that other cell that was coming across the Okefenokee, still there, but it is no longer a severe warned storm with that one. We still also have a severe warn around Valdosta, way off there towards the west, but it looks like this separate cell just outside of Fargo has just been dropped. No longer a severe thunderstorm warning on that. So all eyes now on this one, moving just south of downtown Jacksonville from Mandarin, Orange Park, Oakleaf, NAS, Jacks, moving into the Fleming Island area. Then eventually it's going to be crossing over towards St. John's into the Durbin, Nocatee area. Do expect that cell to kind of head off into your direction and put this on a loop, give you an idea of where it is headed towards the south and east here, although we are getting some outflow kind of building off of that. So I want to, that was poorly drawn. But that's kind of that gives you an idea of where the direction it's headed and the timing on it right now. So let's go back to our radar. Pull up the lightning on this because just a whole lot of lightning coming out of this right now. All right, and that's one of the big things with this cell as it's approaching Orange Park. And if you're in Orange Park, I want you to just pay attention for a second. Obviously, you're paying attention. But look at this, 420 strikes out there within this last few minutes here. But the other one is 230 positive strikes. And positive strikes are just that much more potent than negative strikes. Lightning is lightning, okay? I'm not going to dance around it. But those positive strikes just put out a lot more energy. And there's a lot in this specific thunderstorm. And that's why you're just hearing those big boomers out there over the base. T1 obviously in 5, heading over towards Mandarin. Then eventually, San Jose's already inside of it. So where is it headed? It's heading kind of southeast. Out here towards Nocatee, Durbin, St. John's, Fleming Island, maybe even Green Cove Springs. Middleburg, you're probably going to edge on the side of it, but if you're in Middleburg, I'd be picking up the picnic right now and heading inside. I mean, you're obviously probably hearing all the thunder come out of this too. All right, let's do a little walk around with our cameras. And if you're watching on Facebook, please comment. Let me know. Let me know where you're watching from. It looks like our camera on south side's kind of blinded right now. Little still kicking up the lightning though. Let me see if I can zoom it back out a little bit, see a little bit of a better image. All right. Okay, that might, oh yeah, there we go. Is that a fire? Hold on. That's worrisome, because that's it. No, I don't know what I'm looking at. Never mind, it just looked like a fire. It actually, I think that is the highway right there. Okay, just everybody's got their lights on driving into the storm. All right, so let's pull back the picture, and there's the leading edge of this severe thunderstorm. Still in place, now heading out towards Orange Park. That's kind of what it looks like from a distance. Crossing over the river right there, and that's why it looks like you see kind of like that dragon-looking cloud. I don't know how else to describe it. But you kind of see what I'm talking about there, that big, it's what we call scud, or spooky-looking clouds. that's what's kind of dipping down into the river, and it's pulling up moisture out of the river right there, and it's adding it into the storm. So now within that, you can sometimes get a gustnado forming out of it, but it really is a good indicator of a still intensifying storm system here. So that's also part of the gust front kind of out ahead of this. And then if we look back towards the east, you can kind of see that main core of it where all that heavy rainfall is coming down out here. That's also kind of what we're looking at. Give me 15 seconds. Let's just look at this for 15 seconds, and I bet you we're going to see some flashes of lightning. Now the storm's not going to produce. You wait. Jack says checking in out of the Middleburg area. Yeah, it looks like it's going to edge just north of you out there in Clay County. You're not under a severe thunderstorm warning. That is still in place for another 15 minutes across Duval County into St. Johns County. All right. Just clearing my throat. Calming down in White House now, Renee said, so it looks like it just passed you. And of course this storm's not going to put out a bunch of lightning strikes on camera right when I point at it. But we go, like, looking back towards the west, because it's been producing here. So just hanging on that for a second. I'm going to bounce over to the radar here. And, of course, once I click away, I bet you it'll start kicking off lightning. But the reason why I say it's putting out a ton of lightning strikes is because we take a look here at the radar, kind of see exactly what we're talking about. Save. I'm trying to remove that overlay. All right, so there we go. So that is the storm we were just looking at there from our tower camera. Look at all these strikes, and you can see the radar. It's moving towards southeast about 30 miles per hour. We still have a severe thunderstorm warning for Clay, Duval, even parts of Nassau County, although that's kind of over with out there for you. And so Duval and St. Johns County until 3:15. It looks like they dropped Nassau County just now. Why does it keep flickering back and forth? That's weird. I don't know what's going on there. But the point is it's moving south. Clay, Duval, St. Johns County, still looking at this. So Fleming Island, Middleburg, you're just going to be kind of clipped by this, but close enough where you're probably going to get some nasty weather. The spots that are really going to get hit here in the next few minutes are Durbin and Nocatee. Those are the spots that out here in St. Johns County. Yeah, gusty conditions. Although the gust front looks like it's already kind of kicking on by there for you. Actually, I can probably pull up the velocity and get a good idea of where the gust front is right now. Of course, we gotta. Apologies, I'm having a hard time finding my velocity. Oh, there it is. So right in the middle of the screen. Oh, yeah, you can see where the gust front is there. Basically, right in here. So that's where it kind of you have that leading edge of the winds getting pushed out right there. So now just crossed 95, kind of heading out towards 9B, so the E-Town area. And then you can see that gust front's already pushed by Fleming Island, stretching down towards the south. So velocity, even though we use this a lot for tornadoes, this also can tell us where kind of some of the higher winds are right now. Also, a flood advisory in place until 5 p.m. This was just issued by the National Weather Service. Looks like a flood advisory. Let me see. No warning or watches, but a flood advisory. Now, NAS Jacks just did. I've been saying T1, joking, T1 and 5. Anybody that's in the Navy knows exactly what I'm talking about, or at least in aviation. They did just report a 44 mile per hour wind there at the airport. Let's pull up our wind gust. There we go, 44 miles per hour just reported at NAS Jack. So that kind of gives you an idea, confirming up with this storm as it's passing overhead. Now, if you're just south of there, as all these spots I've been mentioning, Durbin, Nocatee, 9B out there towards E-Town, all of this is kind of heading in your direction. So confirmed up, we see it on camera, we see all the lightning here on radar, and now we're kind of confirmed up with actual wind reports coming out of NAS Jacks pushing towards the south. The good news is behind this storm, it does look like things are calming a little bit. So the airport, even though you had a 52 mile per hour wind earlier, it is starting to back off. The problem is we have another cell behind it, and you can see this one. I'm trying to get that off. Oh goodness. This one is not severe warned, despite what the little arrow pointing says. Let me remove that. All right, so there you go. Folkston currently getting some storms extending across Nassau County back towards the west, heading into Baker County. That is not severe warn. It's this specific cell right here that is now just crossing the Buckman Bridge, heading out towards San Jose, moving into the Mandarin area as well. Let me actually see. You know what I think is going to be a really good camera to see this? All right, let me pull up our beaches camera, because Jack's Beach, a lot of this is just shifted towards the south and west, so you might be able to see the leading edge of it. Dana says, just got it bad by the river near the zoo. Yeah, that's one of those spots that you really were getting those solid 50-mile-per-hour wind gust out there. All right, our beach camera is so sensitive. I'm trying to focus it out towards this storm. Oh, there we go. Okay. Goodness gracious. I wish I could show you my screen right now. Actually, you know what? I kind of can. Let me pop up on the screen. The tower. I got it. Our tower cam. So, whoa! Right when I flipped over. Did you see that? You need to... I hope you guys are rolling on this, because that would be a great capture right there. Right when I flipped it over, just right in the middle of the screen, just ground the cloud lightning. My goodness, that was wild. Sorry, I get a little excited sometimes when I see this stuff. But that is from our south side camera. Now I'm going to head over towards our beaches camera. But that shows what I'm talking about. It's not just a figurative thing. I'm sitting here telling you a lot of ground to cloud lightning. This is putting out, and you can see this is from our beaches camera looking out towards. Did it move on me? Should be looking towards the south and west. Oh goodness! I just had our director in my ear tell me, poor dog in San Jose. And there's so much lightning. I'm sure the pups are getting a little spooked right now with all of this. And with that said, I'm going to bounce. I think I'm going to go back towards our south side camera. That's the one we were just getting all that lightning right in the middle of the screen. Like, just giving you an idea. And then I'm going to bounce over to the... back to the radar here, giving you an idea of where this is going. So this is the one that we're just seeing lightning hit up here on the screen. It's really producing a lot of lightning. And just a few moments ago, I was telling you, in that last lightning strike that we saw right in the middle of the screen, that I can almost, I can't say offhand, but I can guess most likely that was a positive strike, because it was outside of the main core. If you noticed, we could see it clearly. It was in front of the thunderstorm, and that was almost what we call one of those bolts from the blue. You always hear about that, where it wasn't raining, because where that lightning strike was that we just showed you a moment ago, it was not raining where that hit. And that's what we always talk about. When we always say, hey, even though it's not raining, your thunder roar is head indoors, right? Because you can get those strikes away from the main storm cell itself. But this is still putting out a lot of lightning here as it's edging off towards the south and east. Special marine warning just issued on this cell moving offshore. Obviously, you don't want to be out on a boat there. Another thing I'm seeing here, and I just want to point this out for like the Green Cove area, is we have this gust front. You see the gust front right there? This is very clear example of one. This could spin up some more storms south of the main cells. The main cell right here, crossing Orange Park, Mandarin, moving in the Durban, Nocatee, Fleming Island's going to be kind of clipped by it. But Middleburg probably getting some good winds right now from that outflow. I wouldn't be surprised right around Green Cove here, and eventually towards Palatka. You're probably going to start to see some of those cells kind of edge off there. Not Palatka, Green Cove Springs. Goodness, I'm talking too much. But yeah. Okay. Yeah. I have a problem here, and if you don't mind throwing up a camera or going to full screen, can you go on the full screen on this real fast? I need to run over and grab my outlet. I have been talking a lot longer than I anticipated, so stand by, and I'll be right back. Just putting this on the screen with a severe thunderstorm warning. Please don't go anywhere, and maybe we can switch over to one of the tower cams or anything like that. Just I'll be back in like 30 seconds. All right, so we're back. Thank you very much. It does look like we're taking one of our towers here. Let's go back to the radar, but yeah, you can see those flashes of lightning right on the screen here. It looks like our tower cam kind of getting hit by a lot of this heavy rainfall. That is located right about in the middle of all of this. That camera that you were just looking at is located right about in here. So that's why we call it our south side camera. Actually, with that said, you know what I can do? I can pull up any of our traffic cameras from that area right on I-95, because this whole area, I-95, is just getting walloped right now. Oh, 95 and Old Say no. Yeah, that's probably the leading edge of it. But yeah, pull it up, dude, if we got a good shot there. I'm actually, there we go. Oh, yeah, there's some traffic down, slowed down right there. Yeah, that truck is going slow. I'm curious what's going on right in there. Is that just normal everyday traffic? Yeah, just congestion. This one, and then we're gonna go over 95 at Butler. So another spot. Yeah, that was the same one I was just looking at here too. I was gonna pull up that one. So. Yeah, so, but you just see the constant, like it's the constant, and look at the fishtails coming off of some of these, but it's the constant just flashes on the screen. Do you see that as well for everybody watching? Like you can just see the consistent flashes here, and that is just that persistent lightning. And if we go back to the radar, and I just want to show you how many strikes we have out here with the severe thunderstorm warning, which has now been extended. I said 3:15 earlier. It is now in place to 3:45. p.m. for Clay, Duval. Putnam now is included in on this since it's moving kind of more south-southeast with that outflow I was mentioning just a second ago, and also over towards St. Johns County. So kind of running right along the river here. But you see all those lightning strikes, about 330 strikes here in the last 15 minutes. A lot of positive strikes. All right, so we're going to go back to one of our traffic cameras off of 295 and Old St. Augustine Road. And, I wonder if it's hailing there right now. Just out of curiosity, because you can kind of see it bouncing on the camera. I am curious if we got, if the radar is indicating. Whoa! I don't know if you can hear that on the mic, but something that, like, we got a good solid lightning strike right outside of the studio. Okay, so I am so this is interesting here. Jackson, he's behind the screen. I said it looks like stuff is bouncing off the camera, and then if we look at that is Old St. Augustine Road. That's I-95 and 295, so just east of Old St. Augustine Road. Hail being indicated here on radar, so it matches up with what our camera was showing. Can you show me 95 and the traffic camera for 95 and 295? If we could pull that up? Yeah, that would be great, because that's right where this is getting hit right now. And okay, I can pull it up. I got. Okay. No, I got it. I got it. I got it. All right. So this is right here. This is 295 and 95 pulling up right now. Yeah, that is obviously coming down pretty hard right in that same spot too. So it just gives you an idea of what it looks like. And you don't want to be driving out in this. Actually, I'm going to go bounce over to, this is 290. This is 95, just south of the interchange right there. As well. Traffic just almost down to a crawl right there, which doesn't surprise me. I mean, it's coming down. And as I showed you just a second ago, it does look like it's hailing in this specific spot too, it's a severe thunderstorm warning that it has that chance of some hail out here. Actually got a couple cars pulled over right there just off of US 1. It looks like they got their four ways on. Must be coming down so hard that they're like, you know what? Not driving in this. I quit. I'm pulling over. I think that's a very sketchy idea, pulling over on the side of 95. But hey, whatever you do to feel safe here. But a little bit just east of there. So just east of US 1 and Phillips. It's this one not quite as bad, but yeah, I mean, this just gives you an idea of that entire area and how it's really just hitting out there. Nicole says, in Woodbine has been getting it. Thank you very much for chiming in. Jack says, starting to get that thunder out here in Middleburg. That is Old St. Augustine Road in 95, by the way, on their screen right now. Just got it bad by the river near the zoo, Dana said here. That was a few minutes ago, so... If you're commenting on our Facebook page, I would love to hear from you guys. Truly appreciate any reports that you have out here as well. Bouncing the camera over now to Blanding Boulevard. This is on the other side of the river where the severe storm is still hitting there. And actually, it looked like they just had a flash of lightning on the screen once I flipped over there. And then now we can go over towards downtown. Looks like we're not downtown. Interesting. All right, I'm just pulling up the camera from our south side camera looking towards the south. Cluster velocities heading. Yeah, okay. Let's zoom in on velocity radar. Our guys at the airport pointing out some really interesting stuff here. But yeah, look at the lightning just flashing on this. I want to try to pull it back and see if we can get a couple strokes. And then I want to show you something because I think exactly where we're looking at right now, you see kind of the leading edge. So we got kind of what we call that shelf cloud, that outflow boundary is kind of what we're looking at. And within this specific boundary, you kind of see it stretching from east to west right there, are some good solid, maybe severe winds mixed in there too, about 55 to nearly 60 miles per hour. So what I'm going to do, and here we go, a couple more lightning strikes on screen. I'm going to pull up the velocity. So first we're going to go over that severe thunderstorm. I'll show you here on radar. I apologize, I'm hunching over. I got the computer here, so I'm just... Yeah, so this is our severe storm right now. All right, so you see right here, Durban, St. John's, Nocatee, all of that. And the leading edge of that storm right there, now just crossing over towards Durban, heading into to World Golf Village. And even back towards Green Cove Springs here. That is the spot I'm a little... not concerned, but it's noteworthy right now. So I'm going to pull up the velocity. Here you go. Very clearly, you can see the leading edge of those gusty conditions. So that's this line right here. So the Buc-ee's area, that's about to get hit by probably some severe weather. And then you see crossing the bridge right here around Green Cove, stretching back towards the east, Nocatee, Durban, all kind of entering into your area too. Let's zoom right in on this. And what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to find a spot. Okay, so that is radar indicated winds right there, right about there, indicating 44 miles per hour. Okay, that one's right outside of Durban. That one's indicating about 34 miles per hour. I'm trying to find a few spots here kind of indicating what I'm talking about. But the point is right there, I mean, you got 30, 40. The National Weather Service is saying 50 mile per hour winds. So that along that leading edge right there, moving towards the south and east, is kind of this gust front. So on top of all the lightning, this is kicking off into that direction. So you can see here in Akati, 320, so it's pretty much already over top of you. Heading out towards St. Augustine, give it about 40. No, that says 5 o'clock. That's still ways out. I'm more worried and concerned about the spots a little bit closer because by the time it gets out into that direction, it's probably going to lose some of its steam. But okay, so this is another kind of more condensed look. It's World Golf Village, about 8 minutes. So that's right around, as I said, the Buc-ee's area, the Bass Pro Shop and all that right in there. Probably going to get it in about 10 minutes, this gust front, which is going to have some very gusty conditions with it, followed by the heavy rainfall, followed by a lot of lightning getting kicked out from it too. All right. I'm going to try to go back to our Facebook page, see if I got any other comments on here or anything like that. We got about 50 people watching right now, so thank you guys so much for following along with us here. If you're just jumping in right now, once again, we have a severe thunderstorm warning, all part of just this overall flow moving from the northwest towards the south and east. We got a couple lines here. From the northwest, we have a severe thunderstorm over Valdosta, shifting just towards the south of that. Outflow from that, it's even triggering up some new storms. And then there's that other line just around Folkston, passed by Fargo. That one is going to be nearing Jacksonville in about the next hour. Not severe. It's kind of collapsing in on itself, but new stuff is forming up in this warmer, more hot spots over towards Columbia and Baker County where you haven't really gotten the cooling of these storms just yet. So I wouldn't be surprised if more storms kind of start to form up south of that whole line. And then we have the main line of severe weather that we're watching right now that I've been kind of talking about. That's what I was just showing you on velocity, and that is this. I'm trying to get rid of those arrows. That is this cell now forming up over towards Clay and heading into St. Johns County. And you can really see clearly on this loop, by the way, the gust front I'm talking about that is spinning up more storms towards the south. You see that right here? Watch this line. Kind of see that? So that is helping to trigger up more of these storms out here, and that's why Green Cove Springs, Fleming Island, and even down here, a good portion northern Putnam County kind of in the mix here too. But St. Augustine kind of getting on the leading edge of this right now. The real severe stuff with all the lightning is just now entering World Golf Village, so that area from Durbin and Nocatee just starting to get hit up by it too. I'm going to try to pull up cameras. Let's see if we got any good cameras in. Yeah, I just got told we just got a big lightning strike on the one of the tower cams here. Yeah, it really is. This thing is all over the place. And actually, I'm going to pull up one of the towers right now. Let's see. So this thing has been putting out just absolutely loaded with lightning strikes on it. As you can just see there on radar, pretty impressive storm. All right, so let me kind of edge a little bit further. So this is looking right at this cell that is, oh, there we go. Got a couple more strikes on that. That's looking at right at this cell that is moving over Orange Park into the Oakleaf area. So it's kind of looking basically south from the south side here. And this has been just putting out all sorts of lightning out of it. Yeah, let's look at downtown St. Augustine. Oh yeah, let's pull up those. Oh, goodness. So that's that little cell that's pushing over. Oh, this poor worker just doing your job, but everybody's running out. Yeah, it's coming down right there. Yeah, let's see if we got any comments here. We got about 50 people watching right now. Thank you very much for everybody who's jumping on. I truly appreciate it. Poor ladies, grab a rain jacket or an umbrella before heading out there. Yeah, you know what I always do is I always keep one of those little small umbrellas with me whenever I'm heading out on these summer days, especially when there's the chance of storms in the area because they fit right in your bag and they do wonders in storms like this. So you're not caught out in it. Just like that right now. I feel for them. Do we have any other St. Augustine cameras we can flip around to? I know we got the one over the boat ramp and all that. Yeah, let's see. Well, I hope no one's trying to pull in right now over there. That's out of Volano. Oh, somebody just did pull in. Like, hey, you got to rush in. That's out of Volano Beach. So that is just kind of north of where the fort is, right before you go over the bridge there at Volano Beach, kind of getting hit up by this storm. Now, this is ahead of the main line, by the way. I do want to point that out. This is in St. Augustine. They are getting some severe weather right now. Oh, that's dumping on them right now. That is right over downtown. Let me see. Looks like my screen minimized on me. All right. All right. So, all right. Can we bounce back over to? I feel bad for these people. So that is this cell right over downtown St. Augustine right now. Technically, a severe thunderstorm warning in place for them, but the severe thunderstorm warning is more so for all of this hot mess that is headed towards St. Augustine. So this is kind of a gust front, one of these leading storms out ahead of it. But it really is for this whole mess further towards the north and west that's now crossing World Golf Village, kind of getting closer to the outlet malls there as well. And excuse me, Volano Beach, obviously kind of getting those storms too. So let's go back, and this is right over, and actually a couple lightning strikes right over downtown St. Augustine. So let's go back to that camera you just showed me a second ago. I'd really, also, hey, for anybody watching on here, let's hear from you. If you're streaming with us live here on our socials, Facebook or anything like that, let me know. Trying to pull it up right now because we got a whole lot of people watching still. All right. Oh, yeah, that's right over downtown St. Augustine. And yeah. Sometimes you just gotta accept it. I just told just sometimes you're just out in the rain. You're like, I'm already wet. This is the life I've chose. The only thing that worries me, getting rained on isn't a big issue. It's the lightning, and this storm really has been putting out a lot of lightning strikes. In fact, let's go back over to my graphics here and kind of get a good idea. So I'm just looking towards the south with our tower cam from south side here, looking out and just giving you a good idea, a little glimpse around at this cell. It does look like, and the good news with it, it's starting to spread a little bit. So we are getting these kind of high wind reports out here. We've been seeing some. Okay, now I think I looped a little bit too far. Now I'm just looking at a wall. My bad. Apologies. This thing is going so slow. Oh, goodness. Back in that direction. All right. So going back to the radar here. Watch us throw out a lightning bolt right when I'm trying to click off of it. Going back to the radar, so we have that over St. Augustine. We have these storms entering Nocatee, Durban area, stretching back the south side Mandarin, even seeing some of this trailing lightning, probably a lot of what we call spider lightning on the back side of this. It's when the lingering clouds, but the high the atmosphere is still energized in the mid-level, so you get kind of these trailing lightning strikes. It can be quite dangerous. Also just had a 33-mile-per-hour wind gust at Green Cove Springs, that leading edge of this we were just talking about. So what I was showing you on velocity a second ago just confirmed there too. In fact, let me pull up the winds. Gust. There we go. So, yeah, looks like NES Jack still at 30A. Also, at the airport at St. Augustine, 31 miles per hour. It's still kind of backed off a little bit further towards the north, but we are watching that next cell around Valdosta. You can see another leading edge of some gustier conditions being reported out in that way. Bonnie's just chimed in from Kingsland. Thank you very much, Bonnie. I truly appreciate it. I appreciate all your supports on here. Kingsland, you're kind of behind this, but you do have some storms out there. You know, this is still very active. We got this big cell just off the coast of Brunswick, just passed over you. See, it kind of kicked up once it got near the intracoastal. This is that same line of severe weather that was actually back over the Okefenokee about an hour ago. That is still kicking up all sorts of lightning. Look at that, just offshore. Obviously, a special marine warning in place for those areas. Krista says slowly backing off in the Mandarin and Bartram Spring area. That is good news, kind of drifting towards your south. So the Mandarin area, it is going to back off. The rain, that light, steady stuff with the lightning is still going to stick around. This is a classic case of spider lightning. So it's kind of the stuff that stays in the clouds behind the main cell. Really classic scenario for that here. And I think that's still going to be the kind of a problem for the Mandarin, San Jose area, even back towards Orange Park. As far as like the gusty conditions and the leading edge of this, now heading down US 1, kind of approaching the airport here for St. Augustine. It's that specific line right there. So we can actually pull this up. Well, that's kind of interesting. That all the stuff offshore. Wonder if there's any water spouts possible with that. But you can pull this up. World Golf Village. That's also interesting. Yeah, World Golf Village area. Looking at some obviously gusty winds right now. And actually, you know what? We have our cameras. I want to try to pull them up from that area. Let's see if we can. Because I bet you just outside of World Golf Village, we're probably going to get some pretty good shots of the wind blowing on some of the screens here. So I'm going to save that right there, because that is some pretty good gust front coming off of that right now. Okay, save as new show element. Thank you. And now I'm going to go back over to the camera here just outside of World Golf Village, because I bet you the trees, it's just a guess, I haven't seen it yet. It doesn't look too bad. I was thinking the trees would be blowing in the wind there. I bet, let's look a little bit further towards the north. Let's go up like a half a mile further north. Oh, well, okay, so this is like a half a mile north of World Golf Village, this next one. Should be popping up on your screen. Yeah, that's a completely different scenario right there. So you can see the leading edge of this storm kind of moving in. Our chief meteorologist, Lewis Turner's joining me.
Hey, Spetta.
Hey, Lou. Does Jackson know you're coming in?
No, I didn't tell anybody.
Jackson, Lou's here.
Can he hear you? I hope he can.
Yeah.
Tell him if I need to. Let me plug my IFB in. Good job today, Robert. Man, you've been all over this stuff, and it's been a long slog. I mean, these repeated severe thunderstorm warnings with this line just kind of progressing down south. It's you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to help out.
Yeah, Lou's a little taller than me. There's a little behind the scenes there. But yeah, you know, at one point we had a severe thunderstorm warning in place for a good portion of the first coast, from all of southeast Georgia over Duval County, and really rare to see that. It was just multiple, like 3 cells. Now this one now entering the catch you up. I'm sure you've been following it out there too, but the leading edge of this cell now entering St. John's, so it's just pushing over Nocatee, Durbin, World Golf Village, so right around Bucky's area there, Green Cove Springs, and you actually can see the gust front on the velocity.
Oh, very clearly, too.
Very clearly.
So that's out running ahead of the strongest, the heaviest of the rain, right? But you will feel that gust first, and then that's the precursor to the storms that are behind it. So just know that's kind of helping nudge along some of those storms. You know, just personal anecdote with this, and you talk about the risk with lightning, and it is 3:34. This is, you know, prime school dismissal time. This is prime after school practice time. I'm getting a lot of texts from coaches asking about, what about football practice this afternoon? Listen, I mean, this lightning, even if we get out of what would be a severe thunderstorm warning, which is going until 3:45, there's kind of a round 2 that you've been showing back toward Charlton County as well. But look at those strikes, 119 positive strikes. So the positives outnumbering the negatives at the moment, which is kind of somewhat unusual, though it's becoming more normal, it seems, this summer. You
know, and we actually had a little, I would say it's a visual confirmation of one of these bolts from the blue. We were watching it earlier, and like just from one of the tower cams, and outside of the thunderstorm itself, we saw a big strike right in front of it, which was probably a positive strike, because that's more than often those type of strikes.
Exactly.
So those are being kind of verified, even not on radar, but visually here on our live stream.
They're brighter. Exactly, they're generally the single strand, the more powerful bolt that's coming from the very tip tops of these clouds. But, you know, I'm just texting with my son right now. You know, he's supposed to be at swim practice. Not a chance. I mean, even when the heaviest of the rain kind of moves south of the Julington Creek area, Fruit Cove area, there's still good bits of lightning behind this. And as we know, I mean, you get lightning striking 15, 20 miles outside of these storms. So I'm, you know, conservatively estimating for World Golf Village, for Fruit Cove, St. John's, Durbin, Nocatee, Julington Creek, I mean, you don't have the all clear to really get back out and do outdoor activities because of lightning primarily, even those strong damaging winds, not to mention that, but for at least another hour and a half, 2 hours, with the potential for that lightning being still in the area.
And just so everybody knows, that beeping at the bottom of your TV, if you're watching on NBC or ABC here, and we appreciate you watching on FCN Plus.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That is for the severe thunderstorm warning. That is still going on now until 3:45 p.m. It's kind of exiting Duval County, but we're still getting lightning here. I can verify that. Right now, it's thundering outside. That is for another 15 minutes or 10 minutes. Despite all the lightning coming out of this, I'm actually kind of thinking that they may not extend this severe thunderstorm warning because it is kind of flattening out a little bit.
Yes.
It's still dangerous. I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't go swim practice in this right now, but
There's layers to these things, right? So when we talk about severe thunderstorm warnings and we're getting wind gusts, and the storm core is coming down. So we had the bright reds, which would indicate really strong potential downdrafts, meaning potential 60-mile-an-hour plus winds. That's obviously a very big concern for property, for your shingles, for roofs, for limbs, things like that. But you can't underscore enough, even if in wind, this severe thunderstorm warning is expired most likely in the next 7-8 minutes or so. The lightning is still going to be in the area. So still very impactful as far as any outdoor activities are concerned. And that will last. The residuals with that lightning is going to last a lot longer than even the severe thunderstorm warning expiring. So even when you see that, okay, well, we're no longer in a warning, remember the second layer to this is, okay, so maybe not so much of a risk of property damage, but still a risk of seeing all that lightning out there. So, yeah, the live cameras have been impressive. I've been watching, we've been working on some things with our show for On Air, and had one of the cameras, I don't know if it was the beach camera or the south side camera, very clearly picking up very clear lightning strikes.
oh yeah, our south side camera just like there was one point it was like bolt,
Yeah.
bolt, bolt, and it like, okay,
Yeah,
all right, calm down.
seriously.
Like,
Well, when you're getting hundreds, of strikes, it's bound to happen,
yeah, now all of this kind of edging a little further south. So World Golf Village, St. Augustine, going to get this in the next few minutes. And I know it's raining. Actually, can we pull up our downtown camera over St. Augustine? I feel bad for the tourists out there today. You
Yeah.
can tell they were just kind of accepting it. They're like, yeah, it's raining. But it's really going to be raining more, and especially with that lightning in just the next few minutes here.
Cool thing about St. Augustine, if you are out and about, folks are out walking or whatever, there is plenty of good bars and restaurants to dip into and get yourself some shelter and a little refreshment from the heat that we've had today. Gus, NAS Jacks 44.
Yeah, actually, at one point we had a 52 out there.
We had a 52
at
Blunt Island, and that would be the Blunt Island and Fort Caroline area. I think I remember seeing the 52.
Here we go.
So right there along the St. Johns River had those gusts of 40. I'd be interested in what's happening.
So we did have a gust at Green Cove Springs at 40 miles per hour.
40.
Got that on the screen right now.
Okay.
Just north of there at NAS Jacks, we had a 44 mile per hour
There we go.
wind gust
Yep.
reported there. Let's scroll a little further north. So the two reports that Lou was just talking about here at Fort Caroline, we had a 49 and a 52. That have you ever been out there at Fort Caroline, gone for a nice little hike?
Yeah, I love Fort Caroline.
I love it, and I love where the weather station is there because it's out on a dock out over the water, so you can
Yep.
get those winds coming across the river there.
Yep. Great views, good spot to be. And now, kind of, thinking with radar, looking at this line, I know we've got a lot of eyes on this severe storm, but and while it may not get to severe level, like the I-10 drive, so for folks, if you're downtown right now thinking you got to get out and head west, or if you're out west and you got to come through Baker County, there's kind of the part two to this afternoon round of storms is what's coming right on down and moving over I-10. So maybe some 40-mile-an-hour gusts there. You can see the gust front kind of extending with that outflow boundary, kind of south of Sanderson now into Union and Bradford counties. But, out towards Baldwin, west side of Duval, you're starting to see kind of a stronger storm there. And that's going to move into Clay County. So Middleburg would be up next for another round of thunderstorms, another afternoon of some boomers for you.
I'm just trying to pull up the Sanderson, or some cameras out in that area too right now. This is just east of Sanderson. So kind of giving you an idea of what Lou's talking about here. And that whole line, I think what's kind of interesting, this whole line's building off of the outflow from that initial one. Mm-hmm. And you can kind of see that out ahead of it there. The winds are, at least here you can kind of see the wind. I think this is part of that outflow. The main storm hasn't hit it just yet. But if we go back to the velocity, and I like explaining this to people that are maybe watching at home, how the velocity, we use it a lot during tornado coverage, but it also can be very useful in kind of finding where those gust fronts are. And you can kind of see that outflow boundary just south of Sanderson right in there, helping to push this along.
Murray Hill flooding, getting some potential street flooding happening there. Sorry we paused. We're getting a little word from our digital director, Jackson, getting reports. You have Murray Hill flooding. Now, at least the heaviest of the rain has kind of moved out of the Murray Hill area. Probably still some residual light rain happening. Most of it out toward, the heaviest would be out towards over Oakleaf, down through Orange Park, Mandarin, into St. Johns County now. Still plenty of lightning. I'm
trying to pull up the radar indicated rainfall right now.
Okay. And I'm waiting to see if they've they haven't put in a storm report yet for Murray Hill.
So this is going to be, yeah. So we're just getting this report in. So I'm just trying to. All right, let it load up here. So this is a radar indicated, and that absolutely makes sense. So yeah, that whole area. At one point, I think there was a flood advisory in place for this spot too.
Yep.
But I mean, this is indicating.
And I imagine Ortega,
3 inches.
Yeah, from Murray Hill, Avondale, probably parts of Riverside and Ortega, down towards NES Jacks. There along the St. Johns River, we're going to have some very localized street flooding, certainly.
Severe thunderstorm warning just extended, so that beeping on the bottom of your TV is not going away just yet. Now a severe thunderstorm warning has been extended till 4:15 for parts of Flagler and St. Johns County, kind of the leading edge of that main cell. So I was wrong when I said I think it's falling apart. I guess they're
going to keep it, I guess, just kind of as a precaution, watching. Now they want to include, because what's included here is going to be St. Augustine now in the severe, but all the way down to Hastings, Butler, and Crescent Beach, and extending into Palm Coast. Now, if you are streaming with us in those southern St. Johns County areas, now in that warning till 4:15, so over the next half hour, you haven't. You may hear distant rumbles of thunder. You're not in the storm yet, so this is kind of giving you a heads up, right? So Butler Beach, Crescent Beach, not quite in it yet. World Golf Village down to the Highway 16 exit. So they're the outlet malls, kind of feeling the first kind of edges of this storm, but the worst is still on its way. So you've got a couple of moments to get inside, get away from that lightning and those gusty winds. But this will continue its trek down to the south-southeast, probably still at 20 miles an hour,
yeah,
approximately.
It's moving forward at about 20 miles per hour right now.
So
let's see. Oh yeah, this is still cruising along, that gust front coming out of there. Probably, you know what, let's pull up the Volano Beach camera. Could you do that for me? Not Volano Beach, the Volano boat ramp. Because if we look at that gust front where it is right now, it looks like it's just kind of edging right next to the boat ramp there. And I bet you with that looking out, that might be a good shot.
Could catch a shelf. Not yet.
Okay, we're not there yet. We could get the shelf cloud. I like that person. It was just running across the boat ramp.
Running. He hears the thunder.
He's like, no. Got to throw out my trash. Yep. Good for you. Don't throw your trash on the ground.
Yep.
Now run back to the car.
He's getting hit. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Run back
That is a
quick.
man that is hearing thunder outside right now.
Let me get back real quick.
I really wish we could turn the camera just to the right.
Yeah, the look back.
Do any of the other cameras in the area kind of look towards the right here? I can probably pull one up out of off of
Because
I-95.
Volano Beach goes east. St. Augustine, like the
Whoa!
Bridge of
Okay,
Lions
I got
might
you. I
be
got
cool.
you. This is one that it's looking from the Bridge of Lions towards downtown. Can we put it up on our screen?
So yeah, that'll
Yeah, there you. That's what that guy sees.
That's what he sees.
That's what he sees. He's like, hold on a second.
I gotta get to the hill.
And this is when we talk about the gust front, this is what we're talking about. It's it's so hot out today. We were up to like 105 at near 110 with the heat index. But the rain is falling, and that rain cools as it falls, and it creates this outflow, and it's just that interaction that creates that really cool looking cloud right there. It's what we call a shelf cloud, and that leading edge of that cool air that is spilling into that warmer air forms that 1 and 2, it creates the gusty winds. So
There you go.
science.
Leading edge. And yep, so I was trying to see if that's a guy on that crow's nest of that pirate ship, but it's not.
Okay, somebody's up there pulling a Lieutenant Dan.
You call this a storm? It's coming. Not quite to you yet. I mean, although you have had some rain there. We saw those folks running around St. George Street. But they're fine on St. George Street. I would say they're walking at a very leisurely pace.
That guy's debating on, do I walk in the puddle?
Start splashing in the puddle. I'd say this is a great time to find you one of those little bars, little restaurants.
There's not a shortage of them right there.
Right there.
Yeah. Right there.
Duck in, get you a slice of pizza, and let this storm go through you.
Can we go back to the boat ramp? Is there? Oh, so that cloud is moving in right there.
Yeah. So moving quick. The boater new. We see the palmetto tree kind of blowing in the wind there. We got one boater coming up to the dock. He's going to go get his truck.
Do you want to root this person on as he gets their truck and pulls onto the ramp here?
He's backing it in nice.
Actually, all things considered, like you can tell that the wind is blowing just by the ripples right there too.
Oh, yeah.
And that bird struggling in the top right. But he's backing it in pretty decently. I feel like, and I'm a decent boater. I would definitely be out in a swamp at this point.
Pulled it. All right, so we're going to Tower Camera.
So this is on south side, right?
Yep.
Oh, that is so it's
steamy.
Steamy. It's so hot, so humid out.
Yep. With this grade A glasses fogging up alert for you now that rain has kind of hit that extremely hot pavement, and get a little steam, get a little low cloud. Yeah.
Glasses
cool
fogging up alert.
Yep.
That's our weather impact alert for the day.
It can impact you. I'll tell you that much.
And
Makes
then
you look silly.
oh, yeah, but that's a solid fun word for you. Transpiration. It's when the plants are kind of releasing the moisture into the atmosphere, which I bet a lot of that is coming out of there. And then if you want to bounce back to our camera on on St. Augustine here, because I have it up on on the graphics, still can see that shelf cloud. So that's from St. George Street. But now let's look over here. What's almost practically above them, and I'm surprised that they're very leisurely.
Yeah.
Considering that is what it looks like from the Bridge of Lions.
Hey, they're on holiday, enjoying life. But I will say, as we look at kind of St. Augustine, it's not going to last much longer. I mean, the storm is on the doorstep. I mean, it's encroaching on Volano as we speak. It's all the way up Highway 16 to 95, and so it's going to be there, and that'll be an interesting camera in 10 minutes or so. The St. George one, when folks are making the mad dash.
Actually, can we bounce back over now to the I want to address this real quick, and then we'll go back over to the boat ramp here in just a second.
Great.
I did get some Erica saying out of Kingsland, they're getting some showers right now, so I see some sails just off of Fernandina Beach. Some pretty decent rainfall there. And also, Russell's saying, got pounded by jacks by Blanding and Townsend. Looks like that's kind of shifted towards your south now. So really the big topic is out here closer to St. Augustine. Can we pull up that boat ramp shot?
Won't be long. They better get that boat on the trailer quick.
Yeah, I want to see this guy. Let's get some. Now that's. Oh, did we miss it? Wow.
I wonder if he went back out because he backed it in, let somebody off the onto the dock, which I imagine the guy's going to go get the truck.
Yeah.
And he's going to go back it down.
I see what you're saying.
And then he's just off camera, kind of turning around, getting ready to get back on the trailer. They're going to have to do it with some haste. Let's see if that theory is right. Because otherwise,
there's our shelf cloud right there.
Yep. There's no way they trailered that boat that fast while we were
yeah, right.
For 5 minutes. There's
like, wow.
Yeah, I'd be interested if we see him coming back down.
Just said nope.
Or if maybe he just decided he's going to run down south. He's like, I'm not messing with this right now.
I mean, there's nowhere to go though. Like, you can have out to the Matanzas Inlet and beach it.
He's eventually going to catch you.
Yeah.
Best bet's to, try to trailer that thing real quick. There comes somebody. But he's taking his time.
Yeah, he's in a little leisurely pace.
All right, we got severe thunderstorm warning. It's going to go till 4:15 now.
Yep.
This does include St. Augustine. So primarily we're focusing on central and southern St. Johns County now. We're going to focus on northern Flagler County as a part of this, as well as this kind of cell, which it's become less of a line now and more of a kind of condensed cell, is getting ready to move into St. Augustine. It's over Highway 16 essentially right now, 207 next, then down towards Butler and Crescent Beach. We'll see if it kind of keeps that southeastern trajectory. So by the time it gets to Butler and Crescent Beach, maybe kind of trying to exit offshore. But notice how tight and condensed that severe thunderstorm warning is now, right? It's just this cell. So for you folks in Durban, Nocatee, St. John's, Fruit Cove, Switzerland, from the Shands Bridge north to Rivertown, up into Mandarin as well, you might still be hearing those rumbles of thunder, but at least just know that the severe thunderstorm warning is over for you at this point, though Nocatee's still getting hit with some pretty heavy rain, so and you still have the lightning that you got to contend with. So outdoor practices, sports practices, things like that, probably going to be delayed or slowed down just a little bit. If, say, you had a 4 p.m. call time for football practice this afternoon, St. Augustine High School, over Nice High School right now, certainly still getting pounded. Tucoy, Beachside, even over towards Bartram, although the severe storm has started to move south. And then you think further south towards Pedro, Menendez, that would be more Crescent Beach area, but that's kind of the next level to this. But the meantime, our St. Augustine friends, who we have kind of our eyes on more imminently at the moment.
Can we go back to our boat ramp shot now? Just because if we zoomed right on this.
It's a story to tell.
It is. I just like bouncing back to it and seeing how this progresses. And you got that shelf cloud very clearly. It almost looks like a tube kind of rolled across. Mm-hmm. That is the wind rolling, basically.
Yep.
Very dangerous for planes.
For sure.
Mad turbulence right in there.
For sure. Trees telling a big part of that story right now. The palmettos. Got that stiff breeze blowing them, potential 30 to 40.
40 mile per hour gust at World Golf Village.
Okay. So that would, that is kind of in the middle of the cell at the moment.
So that shelf cloud that we're looking at right there, that is this line. So it looks like that's already kind of, shoot.
Is this my guy with the trailer? Nope.
Nope, that's just a guy in a truck.
He's just checking it out. 31 mile an hour gust at the St. Augustine Airport, so right up the road from there. Mm-hmm. So you could, conservatively think as that continues to push further southeast, probably start seeing those 30 mile an hour gusts at least there at the boat ramp.
Yeah, it's coming in. Oh,
right,
somebody
so-
is he putting in a boat though?
Oh, is he going to put in a jet ski right now?
Oh, he's putting in a jet ski.
Or is he?
I-
he decided I'm going to just leave? Maybe he's leaving.
Maybe I hope. Yeah, it's like today's not a sandbar day. It's just not. But yeah, and there's looking down. Oh yeah, everybody's still chilling out there. Yeah,
Baby
flags
in a
starting to
stroller,
blow.
Flags blowing a little bit. They're on St. George Street, where you get a little wind tunnel effect.
Yeah, especially with these winds coming in from the north. Big thing right there, though. Still everybody's out there, but one, let's go to the radar. So, oh yeah, you can see this lady, somebody with an umbrella. This guy's looking at her like, maybe I should have thought about it. But yeah, you can see the leading edge of those heavier showers now just approaching downtown St. Augustine. There is still lightning getting kicked out of this. I mean, it is starting to spread. It is backed off a bit, especially back towards World Golf Village. Still got a lot of lightning right there. But this is still dangerous stuff. And I say that only because look at these two little strokes out ahead of the storm. So that's where it's not raining, and it's hitting some lightning strikes out there too.
Likely, when you see and it's not all the time, but likely when you see those strokes, oh, nice rumble of thunder downtown. I don't know if that's coming through the microphones or not. So still downtown, there's,
It's like
a strike.
I feel like this is something, and it not just kind of off of that. It's what we call kind of spider lightning. It's so when we went out to Gainesville like 2 weeks ago, they talked about this and said positive strikes are more likely after the storm because the storm kind of pulls the negative strikes away near the surface, but the positive layer of the thunderstorm lingers, and that's why after the storm you can get these kind of strokes that go across the sky, and it's what we call spider lightning. And that right here, that big long rumble we just heard over downtown, probably a good solid positive strike, which is quite dangerous.
Yeah. So and another reason you'll get positive strikes behind the storm, if you think about the storm as your feet in wool socks dragging across a carpet, as that storm drags across, it will positively charge the surface, right? So you get positive charge towards the ground, that negative charge at the base of the cloud then outputs to the ground.
That makes sense.
Now the top of the cloud positively charged. Now once that cloud has moved by, the charge goes back to negative, allowing for the positive to kind of come out and back behind the storm to negative charge. So a couple of reasons that you'd see even after the storm has passed, and you can still hear the thunder. There's still that risk. So keep that in mind. There you go. 10 to 15 miles from the storm.
We got a graphic for everything.
Yes, you do. Always ready. There you go. That explains that negative base versus positive top, and then the negative kind of backing away because that positive charge is relaxed a bit. So, definitely worth the reminder. 10 to 15 miles from the storm. Good reminder there.
But at least it looks like this. I've been saying this one looks like it's tapering off a bit. I really do think it's spreading. Their storm core is not quite as high, but still got a story to tell. Can we go back to the St. George Street because I'm sure, hopefully, the people that were without umbrella are heading. Everybody's got an umbrella.
Everybody's got them now. And covering the kid, that's a
person
very
looks like they're
good
going
guy
into war.
doing the right thing. Put the umbrella over the child.
It's true. That's you deserve an award right
Noble.
there.
Take care of the child. Get the
a lot of chivalry going on. You got the guy holding the umbrella out there in the distance.
That's good.
Good chivalry. I like it.
And
good on you guys.
Maybe now, again, it's pouring. I know maybe some folks are trying to get to the car in the parking garage, but find you an inside spot, right? Is that what we're screaming at the screen? Oh, yeah, now. Let's go.
There's our wind gust coming in there right now, that 30 to 40 mile per hour winds. I mean, this is probably closer to 20 right now, but it's starting to pick up.
Story at the boat ramp, Volcano Beach.
Yeah, I wonder how's our jet skier doing? Is he still hanging out? No, he's not there.
No, he decided to chill.
Nah.
Yeah.
No. So, our director behind the scenes has been watching this and said no one's going in and out of there. So we can go back to
I do wonder what happened with that boat that was backing in.
Yeah, I am curious. Did he get out that fast?
I don't know if they got the boat out that fast. That was like 5 minutes. Or if he just decided, I'm going to book it down the Intracoastal to like Crescent Beach and meet me down there. We'll take the boat out there. But by the time you get there, the storm's going to be on top of you there too. I don't know, just thinking what's to avoid that thunderstorm. But looking at the lightning, a lot of it's still condensed back just to the north. So the strikes haven't quite moved over St. Augustine yet, at least from the radar I'm looking at. And yeah, there as well. Still heavily condensed over World Golf Village. And overextended towards the Palencia neighborhoods, up and down Highway 1 towards the St. Augustine Airport where we had the 31-mile-an-hour gust. So things improving back, though, through at least south side of Duval and into Mandarin Fruit Cove, but west side and then into northern Clay County starting to get your line there. So be watching kind of down through Middleburg, Lakeside, Doctors Lake, Doctors Inlet, Fleming Island as well.
Do we have a special weather statement out on that one?
We do not. Yeah, we do. It's a big one, too.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking this looks like just one big old special weather statement.
It's huge. It goes, essentially, it's a weather statement that includes, it's a box from the western edge of Columbia County, south all the way to Gainesville.
So just so you know at home, I have to go through and edit it in, but we're just showing you the severe warnings in place right now, but just mind you, from Lake City all the way back there towards Oakley, this whole south's moving towards the south, but it's producing 30 to 40 mile per hour winds at the very least within it. That one right over Sanderson probably kicking out some pretty decent lightning. I mean, it is kicking out some decent lightning in there too. I think one of the big things is that if we take a look at the temperatures, let's pull that up.
Oh yeah,
you can see why those storms are lunging into that direction, because storms are they're just fat kids at the lunch table, and they're like they ate all the food over here. They want all the food over here, which is those 90-degree temperatures.
I mean, we got a 95-degree temperature at Keystone with a 72-degree dew point. So plenty of heat, humidity. Lake City 91 degrees. I've still got on mine. You say 88 there. Yours is probably a little faster with a 70-degree dew point. So that's got some fuel still to tap into. Looking at Palatka 93 with a 73 dew point. Yeah.
Flood advisory for St. Augustine just put in place.
Yeah.
Which doesn't take a lot to flood St. Augustine.
And again, storm motion southeast at 20 miles an hour, which, I mean, that's moving a pretty good clip, but rainfall rates are pretty heavy, though relaxing a bit, starting to get a little bit better. And there's St. George Street, so yeah, we're kind of in the heaviest of it, and we'll be for at least another 15 minutes or so.
Minutes. Hey, since we got you here, and I know like coming up in a half an hour, you and Ross have your standard stream.
4:30 show.
We've been going at this one for 2 hours. You guys coming in, and I do want to kind of quickly we have Cristobal out there.
Yeah.
It's just
latest name, Cristobal, and you know what? This week, I mean, in the next day, we could have a Dolly and even potentially an Edward. I mean, so we're starting to check off names at a pretty quick clip. So Cristobal was an interesting one this morning when we saw this kind of get issued with a storm system that's, I mean, well into the North Atlantic. You can see probably won't live beyond tomorrow.
It's completely like the low level's exposed.
Yeah.
It's a tropical system, I know, but if this was 40 years ago, there's no way, unless we had a really confused sailor going through the middle of this.
Yeah.
The winds were going from the south, and then they came in from the north.
Yeah.
We would not know about this.
But, you know, just a little fact like that. Remember the rain we had, especially like this past weekend. A little part of that system that was essentially in the Bahamas last, Thursday.
Yeah.
And then Friday, Saturday, we watched it go right up the Florida coast, off the coast of the Carolinas, and then boogied over north of Bermuda. And that spot in the Atlantic is where it decided, I'm getting my act together for a moment, and I'm going to become Cristobal. So
it's kind of interesting.
It is. You know, of all the warm water it had, I mean, just the conditions weren't right. You know, a little more baroclinic, I suppose, with some frontal.
Yeah, it looks like it's almost forming a little front off of it, but our spaghetti plots are like, ow, I don't know what you see in this thing, but they're kind of all the Azores. Maybe some rainfall, little front coming through there.
I like the loop-de-loop one.
Just meh.
Do a few circles out there while you can. And then, we've, of course, got Invest, 92L?
Yeah, our guys down towards the south. Let me see.
In the south, with the higher chance of development over the next 48 hours even, so the next couple of days, could see a depression or dolly even there. But computer modeling, in still plenty of time, right? But the consensus is kind of meeting up with the tropical death trap of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
It's at least maybe Sunday, Monday.
And I guess kind of the mid-level ridge, the same thing and this ties it back closer to home, the same reason why we are so just goodness gracious hot is one reason why it does look like this probably is not going to turn towards the north, because that ridge, if it backed off a little bit, that would allow it to kind of kick off, but it's just staying hot and humid. Right. We got a little bit of upper level troughing. That's kind of what I'm trying to indicate there with that front. But that's enough to trigger up storms, not enough to churn any system way down in the Caribbean towards the north.
Correct. And highest likelihood would be it kind of meets its end somewhere in the Caribbean.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
So much dry air.
Dry air. But that ridge, and another reason we have confidence that ridge kind of remains in place is, unfortunately, in our 7-day forecast. I mean, we're going all the way out to Tuesday, Wednesday, with temperatures still, in the upper 90s, right? So we know that dome stays over us. We've got the Saharan dust. Certainly, that's definitely an indicator there, as kind of looking out to upper 90s, right? So even beyond in the 7-day, no real relief as we get to Tuesday and Wednesday. So that heat dome staying with us.
It just it's high 90 and the heat index over 100 degrees each one. Just
Yep.
I'm done with it.
Heat advisory at levels, and tomorrow, even with that 60% chance of a shower and a storm, we're going to have. It looks likely that we'll have another kind of lineup again, right around the same time. Will it be over the same exact areas? Well, that's yet to be determined, but very likely we see another round of some storms that could be strong to severe, considering the heat and humidity.
Do you? You ready? Like, you already see the pumpkin spice set up at Starbucks and all that? And just like,
are they really?
Yeah. Give me a break, guys.
I haven't been to Starbucks in so long.
Give me a break.
We got to get to September and then do it.
Just wishing the cooler weather into existence.
I guess so. So we got our cell over St. Augustine still warned for another 7 minutes or so. So we'll kind of stick with you and see what happens. Is
I think at 4:15 might sign off here, take a little break, get reset.
Yep, need to take. So we'll take this to 4:15, then of course we'll be right back on at 4:30, and of course we've got our 24/7 streaming radar right here in this very app as well, if you're so inclined, so you can kind of follow and check that out yourself. Stronger storms west side Oakleaf and then down towards Orange Park, Fleming Island as well, but the severe storm with potential, though that potential for those strong gusty winds, I do believe at 4:15 they're going to let this one expire and rain itself out.
But that one behind it, that's the one I'm kind of like, like the one over there towards Oakleaf. I'm trying to swing our camera around and see if I can get any lightning strikes out of it. That's why, sorry, I'm just trying to do a few things at once here. There we go. So it's specifically this cell. Okay, maybe that's not quite severe. But it is putting out some lightning strikes out there from Fleming Island, Orange Park, Oakleaf area. Also, still more rain out there in the Avondale area where we did get some reports of flooding. And so more rain on top of that is kind of what we're seeing right here. And then this is a live look from our south side camera. This is the camera that was putting out all that lightning earlier. Kind of looking out towards that cell. So
sure,
it doesn't really have that tight formation on it or anything like that, but obviously we can see a lot of rain coming down out there right now.
Yep. So our St. Augustine cams have been showing that pouring rain on St. George Street, the Volano Beach boat ramp, which is a hot spot always. Love to check that out. And we've seen folks dodging the rain that'll kind of be moving through there down to Butler Beach and Crescent Beach here over the next 20, 30 minutes or so. So kind of keep your eyes there. If nothing else, not necessarily. Oh yeah, a good shot there.
Mhm.
Bridge of Lines, no maritime traffic. We won't have to worry about that. No bridge raising.
You just see our guy that
Oh
left
yeah,
the boat ramp just blasted
yeah.
right there.
I hope if he did go south, I hope he's much further south than that.
Yeah, right. He's been taking a sweet time.
It's like, forget the no wake zones. I'm gone.
Oh, goodness.
But that line of lightning cruising right, I mean, moving right up the beach. So up and through Volano Beach and stretch of A1A there. So
I bet you are, well, okay, severe thunderstorm warning for, okay, so this is going to expire at 4:15. I bet you our camera out of just going a little south, Marineland is,
oh yeah, and if you got the Marineland look,
okay, well,
is
this,
the one that looks going north.
yeah, the one that's going north, I think is, I'm pulling it up right now. Just a trigger warning here. I don't think this is
Live.
it's live. Let's see if the preview is wrong from the preview. No.
Yep.
Okay.
Unplug it, plug it back in.
Play on somebody. The one looking south looks live because this is the one looking north, and then this is the one looking south.
Yeah,
Like, there's a little difference there.
big time.
Little difference.
Big time.
So yeah, somebody out there in Marineland, can you poke your camera a little bit and help us out? Because I think that shot right now would be a good one. You probably see that shelf cloud coming up on that area, just kind of that leading edge of this whole severe weather. Which we only got a few more minutes, and since I'm running around with the cameras here, just kind of this is basically. Just right outside of 214 there on west of St. Augustine. And actually, we can.
Not a great place to be. I mean, like 95 is never a great drive in that stretch through St. Johns County. And yeah, so with the pouring rain, just
All
and
right,
the, and the rooster tails from the truckers, be careful.
severe thunderstorm warning now in place till 4:30.
They extended. Really?
Yeah. Let's go back to the radar here. Let's see if we're all looking at the same one.
Yeah.
Okay, that still says 4:15.
I've got 415.
Oh, am
Are
I
they-
just
is
reading
it the
this
one
one?
out
Oh,
towards- is it
Sewanee Hamilton.
Sewanee
Ah,
Hamilton.
that's that one. It's
Okay.
that one near in Lake City.
So not quite our area, but Live Oak, some folks can get First Coast News out there. Keep that in mind for another 15 minutes. I still think we break at 15.
Yeah,
I'll let you take a timeout.
I just got a little like,
We'll,
what?
Yeah, right. We'll recharge for our 4:30 show and get ready to go with that.
All right. Well, let's start to wrap it up here. So we've been going on for about the last 2 hours. I want to thank everybody who has been on the stream here. We've been getting loads of comments on our socials, people talking along here, tracking this severe weather today. It's been hot. At least you get a little cool down from it.
Yeah, it was a blast furnace for a while there, and it only makes sense why those storms got the pop that they did. Brief pop, I know you've been going for 2 hours, but for individual areas, it just kept going further south, so maybe not over you for the longest period of time. But, man, look at the current heat index values for Keystone and Palatka. Just untapped energy there. So we'll have our eyes on that system out towards Orange Park. And if it kind of continues its trek a little bit further south, or if Orange Park, Fleming Island, or if it crosses the St. Johns River into an area that's already had a good bit of rain, Mandarin Fruit Cove, that kind of put a dent into that action. But yeah, the more that line kind of, from Union Bradford over to Northern Clay kind of moves south, it'll tap into some good heat. But yeah, we do appreciate you streaming along with us. We'll kind of, as we time out kind of that line there, that's general motion, Stark and Keystone in the area, and then down further south to Gainesville. It looks like the line's holding its act together and definitely has some fuel to get into. So Palatka, by 6 o'clock newscast, we'll see if it's held its act all the way down to you at that point. But in the meantime, for Robert Spetta, who's been holding down the fort for a couple hours, we appreciate that. Appreciate you being with us. We'll talk to you right back here, same place at 4:30.
Bye.
Welcome back. And Tate's coming in.
Tate's coming in.
Welcome into the streaming room, Tate. Welcome in. Welcome in.
Make your presence felt.
We have done a little.
Yeah, he's gonna see. You don't see Tate, but you're seeing Tate as he frames us up creatively
Making us look good.
and gorgeously.
That's why they pay me the big bucks.
Tate. Hey-o! Tate.
Welcome in, everybody.
Special guest of Weather Impact Live.
You've been in here a lot today.
What a day it's been. Well, listen, just a little bit, but like Speta, credit where it's due. He was in here for 2 hours. The time snuck up on me.
Putting in the work.
Putting in the work, digital meteorologist, and doing his thing, watching a severe thunderstorm that just would not quit. Just kept getting extended.
Just kept going.
Kept going. Had the staying power.
Stamina.
You need
Well,
that.
thankfully, the severe thunderstorm portion of it has subsided. They've weakened. Although we do still have storms out there, so we're going to show you the satellite and radar here in a second. Thank you, Tate. We appreciate
Anthony
your work.
Austin says in a text, thank you, Tate.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, can you tell them Max 2?
Thanks, dude.
Anthony Austin texting said, we're too loud.
We're too loud.
He said, we're too loud. We have interrupted his important work at his desk.
Last time I checked, he was eating a big bowl
Cookie?
of I don't know if he was eating a cookie, but he had like salsa and guacamole and
Yeah.
some chips.
He made
That's
himself
what he
a
considers work.
Had a big burrito bowl. Well, I
Ridiculous.
apologize, Anthony.
Oh, wait, we should do the same thing for T.
Oh,
In the house.
T, here. She's making her presence felt now.
She's doing double duty. She was doing training. She's
Yeah.
getting ready for the 5 o'clock newscast. Now
Yeah.
she's coming in here. Our MVP.
Number
First
one.
Coast News MVP right there.
Always make sure we have our appropriate graphics ready for commercial breaks, what we call the L-bar inside the business. Storms in Brunswick. I had my friend Cleveland in Brunswick say, it's getting dark, Lou.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you got a storm.
They got some heavy rain last night up there.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
the last few nights. Monday night they had rain and storms. Last night they had a round by about like 7 to 8 o'clock.
It makes me happy that St. Simon's is getting some, because I also get the folks texting me on St. I get texts and or emails from different communities
A lot.
asking, why hasn't my neighborhood got the rain? Is there
You are
some
to
sort of
blame.
force field? Explain it to me scientifically why my neighborhood hasn't gotten anywhere there. And I'm just going to tell you right now, there's no microclimate over you per se in, say, Keystone Heights or the corner of Beach and Kernan that's causing the rain to just kind of.
I assumed you went up to the thunderstorm and you were just like, these are not the neighborhoods you're looking for.
These are right. Little Star Wars
Oh, I'm glad you got
on
that
a
little-
Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. A new hope. So yeah, raining pretty good on St. Simon. I'm glad, because I know some of their ponds are getting low at the various golf courses up there. And now, what has already so this line coming in northern Clay County, right? Not severe, but what's happening with the cell kind of to the east, moving over the St. Johns River. It's moving right back over a spot that already had, in Julington Creek, Fruit Cove, eventually kind of extending over to Durban. With that storm motion, it's going into an area that's had some rain. It's kind of cooled off the atmosphere a bit. So I guess maybe the St. Johns River is playing a part in this, but that lightning really popping over that
Yeah.
area is pretty interesting. So this is impactful. If you're football practice at Oakleaf, football practice for Orange Park High School, down towards Clay High, Mandarin High School, and now we can start just naming them off. Creekside and Bartram Trail. You guys have that probably the lightning buzzers are going off. I did have a coach out at Bowles text, am I going to be able to practice at 3:30? And at 3:30 didn't seem very likely, because the lightning was
Did
still
you text
kinda
you that this morning or like this
Text,
afternoon?
no,
earlier
texted
this
at like
afternoon?
1:30.
Oh, okay.
Because when that first severe thunderstorm warning was
When it
issued,
came out. Gotcha.
was wondering about Bowles. So depending on the sensors, I don't know if they have like an 8-mile radius to 10. I mean, there's still some kind of close.
8 mile your
8
favorite?
mile.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Palms are sweaty.
Bomb spaghetti. Knees weak. Highway 301 kind of getting squared up.
Yes, Stark, Bradford County, Union County.
Yep.
Lake City even. So storms crossing I-10 out across the Suwannee River Valley right now. And you can kind of see where that outflow boundary is. It's quite a good bit out ahead of the storms.
Yeah.
Which generally I feel like the further out ahead the outflow gets, the weaker the storms will be once they get there. Meaning, they were severe when the outflow was a little bit closer, but now that it's pushed out ahead, become outflow dominant, the storm's not going to be to that severe level.
Quite yet, but now what you're seeing, they're starting to initiate just outside of Keystone and then towards Palatka. Two areas that have been extremely hot. I mean,
I haven't
obviously
seen storms yet.
and they hadn't had them. So, I mean, they were just 15 minutes ago, we were talking about Keystone with a heat index of 105, Palatka heat index of 105, temperatures in that 95 in Keystone, 93 in Palatka. So, I mean, there's the energy, right? So maybe not to the severe level, but you've got the juices to flow there for some stronger storms.
And there is the cool
Oh,
down
it's
brought
cooling it up.
by the rain. Yeah, 75 in Jacksonville and Folkestone, whereas Gainesville hasn't seen the storms. It's still 93, but those temperatures come down for nearly all of us here very, very shortly if you haven't already cooled off. So we had a weather impact alert in place today for the heat, for
Yep.
the extreme heat. It goes technically until 7, but that's pretty much come to an end since the storms have pretty much cooled everyone off.
Cooled everyone
You don't really
off.
have to worry about the heat for the rest of tonight, but tomorrow will provide us with another day, another chance.
Another
for it.
chance for some storms. Yeah, I mean, generally, the weather impact alert for heat is coming along with humidity, which will tag along with its friend storms. So I think tomorrow we have another opportunity.
Always all inclusive.
Always. You got to bring your buddies with you.
Yeah.
Can't leave one back at the house.
No.
So, yeah. Take a look at our next 48, right? The first 48 is the most important in any investigation. But,
Preach, my guy. Preach.
whether it's, some sort of homicide show that you enjoy, true crime, that I know Ross loves. You love a true crime, don't you? No, you don't.
It's a little bit, but nah, they get
Not
a
into
little,
it.
It gets me down.
You know what? The trend in true crime, I think, is leading that and many other things, social media, too much scrolling, too many cameras everywhere, is leading to more anxiety in our youth. It's too much true crime. Everybody's getting murdered all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know what they need to be watching more of? The Summer I Turned Pretty. My Life with the Walter Boys. Off campus. Kind of these
Don't know what any one of those things
kind
are.
of teen angst, rom-com shows a little bit. Teen dramas.
I take your word for it. I don't know what that is, and Ross last week didn't know what the Muppets were.
I knew what the Muppets were. I didn't know who Gonzo was.
Okay, well, you don't know the Muppets then. You don't know ball. So there is the next 48 with another, a couple afternoons. We have that chance with the heat over us to see some of those storms popping. We got to take a break. How fast time flies when you're having fun. We'll be right back after this.
In everybody, I'm not exactly sure what's up next. I believe it's a look ahead to our weather impact alerts the next 2 days.
Well, there's one way to find out.
Thursday and
Couple
Friday,
ways to find out.
I'm hoping that's what's next.
We could certainly guess. That'd be one. And I'm going to take his word for it, and I'm going to say it's the weather impact alert for heat.
Because
There we go.
and it has stuck.
Yes,
the
it has.
catchphrase has stuck.
All right, so noon to 7 tomorrow, and we'll do it again for Friday. Heat index values potentially up to 113, so certainly that dangerous heat out there. It is a blast furnace until rain starts. Now, that rain moves over, it takes those temperatures down, and then we have different impacts. So it's kind of dual layered. We're really focusing on the heat because that's been a big part of the story. But listen, those afternoon sports practices, big time. We're trying to get football lined up and ready to go for the first games. Friday Night Lights, and getting a little challenging when you've got too much lightning in the area. One person texted me, and I'll leave the school out, saying that he wants to break the weather sensors at his school because the wet bulb temperature and the thermometer are driving him nuts because they've got heat issues. Okay. And then there's also the lightning. He's like,
So he's not been able to practice out there.
Not to the level he'd like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, extreme. Hey, look at this.
Look at who it is.
Oh, we got another person. Oh, we got Anthony. How have we had so many people? Hey-o! This is the king of the hey-o here. Oh, he's giving us a message. Oh, so we don't, and we were just told by the director in ear, just coming in, we don't have another camera for Anthony. But you can hear the laugh his presence is felt. So we've had Tate, T, and Ask Anthony himself, Anthony Austin.
It's been a busy day. We never have anyone in here.
No one ever comes in, and Danae's coming in now?
A lot going on.
What do we have a keg? Yeah, we got.
I got to get ready for the news.
Did you have like did you need to tell us to shut up? We were being too loud for you?
Yeah, you're okay now.
Oh, we're good now.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've moderated out.
I heard you guys have been mentioning my name a lot in here.
We have.
So I just
He's come to basically give us the keep my name out your mouth.
I think that's what was getting put down in here.
exactly what it
That's
was.
what it was. Okay. I tell you, honestly, keg of beer. Get that on ice. We had
Did you
a party.
see him flick his hair over his shoulders? He
It was
walked out the door.
unbelievable. Diva.
What diva? Yeah, geez.
Diva. Get ready for the 5. See, what's funny is I got to get ready for the 5 too. But I like to spend time with you right up until that time here on
Well,
the stream.
You don't really have to.
No, I don't.
You know why?
Because you've done it all, Ross.
Because I'm your Robin.
Should have had it all. Is that Adele running in the
Yeah.
deep? Yeah, we could have had it all.
We could have. Yeah, it
Not
shouldn't-
should have.
No.
Could have. Should have, could have, would have.
You
Yeah,
wanna break this-
but speaking of like getting ready, I mean, he's got a few Robins out there too. I got my one Robin.
Yeah. Well, his tie's not even on yet.
Oh yeah, he's
walking
he's
around
gotta
sipping
put on-
a Celsius.
Put on his
Trying to
tie,
get ready.
put on his finishing spray because the makeup and
the
then you
rose
gotta-
water.
Rose water.
Yeah, okay.
Have you used that, by the way? He's got a rose water spray. Have you ever like
no, 'cause
taken?
I'm a real man.
I've taken a spritz of it.
Have you?
It's so refreshing. I would suggest
So you're saying I'm missing out?
missing out. Now, I'm going to have to probably buy him a bottle because he's going to hear that I spritz some of his rose
You've been using
water finishing
He
spray.
goes into the dressing room. It's like, where's all my rose water at? Someone's been
3/4
using
empty. No, I got my own bottle now. Not rose, unflavored, unscented.
Is that
But
what's
it's
on your
still a
desk out
problem.
there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's still a problem that I've got to use that. It's not something that makes my dad proud.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
You know, boy, what you do for a living? You talk about the weather?
Especially considering the
And you
golf
wear
tournament
makeup?
he won this past weekend.
Oh yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah.
That was big. It's right
Big
up
win
there.
for him.
Big one. Thursday, as we get into tomorrow,
Yeah.
another hot day, another day of heat index values up in those dangerous levels, and then the afternoon round of storms. So let's time that out, Ross.
Yeah, first part of the day, completely dry. So no worries if you're out at the bus stop, you're grabbing lunch with someone. She'll be all right. You're just going to be melting if you get an outside patio table.
Yeah.
But I would say as early as probably 1:15, 1:30, kind of similar to what we saw here today. And then, really intensifying by the time you get to 2, 3, 4 o'clock. Because the models have consistently been like an hour or so behind. So, just kind of be prepared. Another chance for some scattered showers and storms for those after-school practices like Lou mentioned, or just simply for that drive and commute home from work. Roadways are expected to be pretty wet out there again tomorrow evening, but Similarly to tonight, most of the activity should wane by, I would say, 6 to 7
Yeah.
o'clock. So if you have, plans a little bit closer to sunset and later on in the evening, or you're getting dinner a little bit later, you should be okay there tomorrow night. So that was a look ahead to your Thursday. Let's switch things up a hair. Let's talk a little bit about the tropics, because we do have a lot going on in the tropics, a lot to kind of break down. So
busy.
I'll give the quick overview.
Do it.
We got Tropical Storm Cristobal up there in the north central Atlantic. We'll touch on that storm in a second. You also have a tropical wave just off the west coast or southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands. That's been given a 40% chance of development over the next 7 days. And then really the area that we have been watching for the last 5 or 6 days now,
Yeah.
and much closer, has that high chance of development over not just the next 7 days, but also over the next 48 hours. It's been designated Invest 92L. Both that and the other tropical wave back behind it, both kind of headed towards the Lesser Antilles over the next couple of days.
Yep. And Cristobal, interesting enough, as we take a look at its short lifespan with a name, was our rainmaker this past week. I mean, this is the disturbance that kind of that coastal trough that setup that was off the Bahamas, I guess, last Thursday.
Yeah.
And then boogied right on up. And that's just how fast these systems can move. I mean, moved right on up the coast of the Carolinas, out in the North Atlantic, and where it finally decided to get its act together was just in the middle of nowhere. And that'll be short-lived. But it does check a name off the list. Next up would be Dolly.
Dolly?
Did you ever do Hello Dolly? You were a musical guy.
I did not.
Didn't
no.
do Hello Dolly. Well, we might be saying hello to Dolly tonight, but most likely within the next 48 hours, 2 to 3 days, we could have a depression and then ultimately Dolly there, that L with Tropical Wave Invest 92L. But what this allows us to do is get better data, get with the Invest, more spaghetti models are run on this. So a lot of consistency with essentially with what's given us so much heat, this ridge, and it's really broad, essentially over the entire Atlantic, extending over Florida. It's going to kind of act as just kind of a lid, keeping this thing on a southern track. I'm glad we were talking about this system. We've been talking about it for days, and modeling changes so much on the long range end. So much can change. Originally, this was showing the Bermuda High kind of taking up and pulling this back to the north, but with that ridge kind of staying stronger and more broad, essentially taking that moisture into the Caribbean. Why could that potentially be a good thing in the long run? Well, Caribbean right now is essentially a wasteland for tropical development.
A lot of wind shear.
Yep.
And some pretty dry air.
Dry air, wind shear, and so if it survives even the trip over the Lesser Antilles into the Caribbean, it probably wouldn't last much longer, because that looks to be its death spiral.
And you kind of see it there Saturday morning. It kind of disappears around the Lesser Antilles. And then that secondary tropical wave, you can see it there also kind of moving that way.
Yep.
But similarly kind of gets swept up and torn apart between the combination of the wind shear and the drier air, so that by Monday night, neither of them really showing up all that much on
Correct.
modeling.
Monday, Tuesday. So let's before we're like, oh, that's no big deal. Let's give it to let's get into the weekend. Let's keep checking in on these things. Certainly, if nothing else, we could be checking off a couple of names, Dolly and then Edouard. But likelihood, at least with current guidance and current thought process, is we would have no direct impacts here in the southeast of the United States. So there you go. Oh, we're up against another break. I'm glad we got the tropics in. So now we get to look ahead to a couple days and then the 7-day forecast after a break, though, of course. So stay right there. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. All right, so we've only got a couple minutes left, so let's kind of get into the rest of the forecast. We've talked about your Thursday. We've talked about the tropics. We know heat, humidity, storms for Thursday. What about Friday?
Kind of a similar story. Highs in the mid-90s. Another chance for some isolated to scattered thunderstorm activity through the evening. So maybe not nearly as widespread as what we saw today or what we're expecting for Friday. So there will still be daily chances for storms each of the next 7 days, really. But we're not going to expect it to be as widespread, and that's kind of the key point, and that includes the weekend, Lou.
Yep, so Saturday, some isolated storms. Sunday, 30% coverage of those showers. But the big thing is this weekend as you're out and about, just take your breaks. If you're a weekend warrior when it comes to the golf course and you're insistent upon, I'm keeping my tee time, just hydrate. You get out there, you get on hole 14, 15, you're going to start getting lightheaded. But look, I mean, especially with real fields like this. It's Saturday. I mean, next couple days into Saturday, 110, that is danger zone.
Yeah, and I mean, look at the 7 day here.
Yeah.
It may actually get worse into next week. So, sometimes, especially with teases, I'll talk about, when could we see this heat wave come to an end? When could we see it cool down? Your guess is as good as mine at this point. I mean,
we were spoiled at the beginning of the month, with those overcast skies, those winds, a little bit of, shower activity, and then keeping our temperatures in the kind of upper 80s for a few. We're going to be wishing for that. But this is kind of an indicator of that big, strong ridge. And again, everything's tied together here, kind of keeping things south when it comes to tropics at the moment. We did see a break in that ridge before we see any drop in temperatures.
And today marks day 79 of 90-degree heat in Jacksonville, and we're just going to continue to add to that tally each and every day here over at least the next 7.
There you go. All right, so that's enough for Ross and me for now, but we're going to be right back at it together tomorrow at 4:30. Hope you'll join us. See if we get any more special guests just coming in off camera and shaking things up for us. Always a surprise. Maybe Rachel, we can get her in here tomorrow.
Shake and bake.
Shake and bake. We'll be right back tomorrow. No, we won't. We'll be back tomorrow. That's not right back. And I'll see you at 5.